injuries throughout the year. Everybody else looks at that, and it sets a great tone.
Series was just you were going against a team that almost had an abundance of playoff experience, and you guys were going in with about as minimal as a franchise as you could. What do you hope that 1 year of playoff experience will do for you guys this year?
Like with anything in life, until you do it, it's hard to replicate. I think we had 5, 6, 7 guys make a playoff debut last year, and we're going against the most seasoned team, the defending champions and the Warriors. But I think our guys, look, we're not happy or satisfied. We lost Game 7. That's not what we wanted to happen. But in my role, I think there was a lot of positive takeaways from that. Keegan, after maybe not his best couple games to start, really figured it out. Fox. I think for us, what we can take from that is, okay, we pushed them to 7, but how do we now get over the hump? What do we learn from that? How do we respond to that intensity? How do we carry that over to the regular season to know that we got to figure out a way not just to replicate what we did last year and put ourselves in an even better position, get maybe a top 2 seed. That's going to set us up better for success. So all those things, but nothing I think can replace playing a 7-game playoff series, the intensity, the fans, the scrutiny, and doing it against some Hall of Famers, and coming this close. Next time we want to come out on top.
Monty, we'll let you on this one. Again, we appreciate your time. We know what Kings fans appreciate about you and the job you've done the most. What do you appreciate most about Sacramento Kings fans?
Number one is that 16 years, and I think there's fan bases that they become kind of pessimistic or apathetic. Kings fans are, in the best way, always optimistic, if maybe a little guarded. And I think now they're going to be even more free. But the support that me and my group, that our players, that our coaches have had since we got here is incredible for a team that hadn't made the playoffs in a decade and a half. And so the reward, the outpouring of love and support that we saw, and just I'll always say, Game 1 of that, of that playoff series will forever stick. That crowd was better than any crowd I've ever seen. And, I wish we could have seen Game 1 of the next round. So that's our goal. But Kings fans are the best. And I'm glad that we gave them a little piece. But I think what we owe them is a nice long run here in the playoffs. So and hopefully playing into May and June.
Yep. Congratulations on your deal, on a great year, and good luck this year. And thanks for your time. We appreciate
Thank you, guys.
it. Yeah. It's Whitey and Watkins from Media Day. We'll have more top of the hour now. Zachariah and Emil Fragoso, back to you.
Has Monty put together a roster that can help make a deep playoff run this season?
Just trying to give coach options, give him guys that can help us win in a variety of areas. Obviously, our top guys are going to play every game, but there's going to be other times, whether it's injuries, matchups, we've got to have some variety on the bench for coach to point to and say, go in there and help us win.
Tune into every Kings game this season
on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
I want you to want me.
Gold Country Casino Resort in Oroville presents Cheap Trick live Saturday, October 21st. Get your tickets now at goldcountrycasino.com. Cheap Trick, October 21st at 8 p.m.
Gold Country Casino Resort.
Must be 21 or older.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. Is your dog leaving frowny piles of poo all around your yard? Well, we need to introduce them to Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food, the fastest growing premium dog food in the country, made with organic seaweed for easy digestion, family owned and operated for 50 years. 6 interchangeable recipes. You can grab some at Safeway, Save Mart, Smart and Final, Winco. Learn more at SupremeSourcePet.com. Supreme Source, a solid choice.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports. The city of Sacramento offers grass conversion rebates to help you replace your thirsty lawn with a naturally water-efficient landscape. Whether you own a home or business in Sacramento, you may be eligible. Learn more at sacwaterwise.com.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Well, you having fun, Chris Watkins?
Yeah.
Here we are.
A shotgun start, but yeah.
Media Day. Sacramento Kings. We're at the practice facility. We just had a very interesting conversation with Monty McNair, and look who joins us, one of the brand new Sacramento Kings, Chris Duarte. How are you, sir? Welcome to Sacramento.
Thank you. I'm doing great. Excited to be here.
Awesome.
What was your feeling, your emotions when you found out you were headed to Sacramento?
I felt great. I was looking forward to a new opportunity, and especially now coming here to Sacramento when they have something going really, really good. And this is good to be part of that.
Mm-hmm. You played with Domas in Indiana, and I know you've been asked a ton about that, but I got to ask, what makes playing with him so fun?
I feel like I keep saying the same
I know.
See, I think you made him better.
Exactly. I know.
That's
No one
what I
talks
said.
about that.
Like I said before to the other reporters, Domas, great guy, great person off the court. I don't need to say any stuff on the court because everybody know what he do on the court. But off the court, he's a great person, great human being, great family man, and I love that. I met his family too, and they are also like that, and that's what I really like about him and his family.
His dad was a pretty good player too.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get to watch him, but I heard he was really, really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just excited to reunite it with him, get back. With him and this amazing group.
Yeah.
A lot of talent, a lot of young guys, good guys on and off the court, which I like that. And I'm just excited to be part of that.
Mm-hmm. Chris Duarte is with us, and we know for a fact a lot of fans very excited when they found out you were coming here. This team obviously offensively off the charts. Defensively, they struggled. What do you see as ways that Chris Duarte can help this team improve upon they had a great season last year?
Well, that's one of the keys, defensively. That's one of our keys is going out there and we have to be better. We know that for you to be able to get to the top, you have to be good defensively. And offensively, we got it. We're right there. We have a lot of guys that can score. So, like I said, I'm just excited to be in this winning culture.
Mm-hmm.
I saw on Instagram mainly that you and Domas linked up almost right after the trade. You guys were working out with Coach Christie, Coach Barbosa. What was that experience like? And, I mean, do you still feel like Barbosa and Doug could, get another year in the league out of them? I feel like, those guys are in some really good shape still.
No, I mean, those two guys, great guys.
Yeah.
Great guys. When I was out there in LA for 3 weeks, had a really, really good time with those guys. And Doug and LB, they've been helping me out a lot. Those two guys, it's good to learn from those two guys, great players back in the days when they played basketball, so they have a lot of knowledge that I can take from them and learn.
Right. Chris Duarte with us. We know that you got off to a great start as a rookie. We know they had some health issues, and we know you're not the type to make excuses, and I'm not asking you to make excuses, but how healthy are you now, and how much did those physical setbacks really make it more difficult for you to play at the level that you are capable of playing at?
I'm healthy. That was one of my main focus, just working on my body. I was just thinking this summer, what I was missing, why was this happening? I even turned down going to the World Cup with the Dominican national team, just to work on my body, focus on me, on myself, mentally and physically. So I'm ready to go, and excited about this.
Now I know you're coming from Indiana. That's with Coach Carlisle. But last year, Mike Brown introduced us to some just a season of craziness. He started off with yelling, and the craziness just continued throughout the year. Some of the greatest quotes you'll ever hear. What are you expecting, or what have you heard about Coach Brown, and what are you expecting him to be throughout the season?
What I heard about him, first thing I heard about him, it was that he's a tough coach, hard nosed, but he wants the best. He wants the best. He want to get the best out of you, and that you have to play defense. That's what I heard the most about him. You have to be a two-way player with him. You have to be all the way in with him. So I like that. I like that because I feel like I'm that type of guy too. So I'm excited for that.
A lot of the league was surprised by how well the Kings played last year. What was it like, you viewing them as an opponent last year? Were you surprised by how well they started the season? What was it like being part of a team that was preparing to play last year's Sacramento Kings?
Well, we knew how good of an offensive team they were last year, so it wasn't easy playing against them. They're a fast team, a lot of guys that can score. Fox at the point, Domas at the point five, playing everything. So it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy.
But it looks like fun to play that way, right?
It was because they play together. A lot of pitching and go, a lot of cutting, a lot of low split. One guy go off tonight, and everybody's happy. Then the next guy go off. Like it looks like everybody's cheer for each other.
Is that kind of the natural way you play basketball?
Yeah. I mean, you guys see my first year in Indiana, playing alongside with Sabonis, playing off the ball, playing with the ball, coming off the pick and roll, making play for my teammate defensively, I think, we have something good.
How did this offseason go for you? Did you work on anything specific, or was it just kind of general rounding out your game?
Like you say, general around the game, just mostly it was my body, just like I said, just working on my body, trying to get as healthy as I could, because for me, it's just being healthy.
Right.
If I'm healthy, I know I can just go out there and produce and perform and help the team on both sides of the floor.
What do you think of this new guy, Vezenkov? As fans, we look at the video, we maybe see him play an overseas game, and I know you obviously know a lot of people in the game, and we don't have that benefit. But what do you make of this new guy coming over? What do you think of Sasha Vezenkov based on what you know him so far?
Sasha, he's a great human being. Great human being. I talk to him every day. And he also speaks Spanish.
Oh yeah,
right.
Which make me feel a little bit comfortable.
Right.
Because but he can shoot the thing. He can shoot that thing. He can shoot that thing. So he's excited to watch.
Yeah.
Chris
Duarte, welcome to Sacramento. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much.
Have a good media day. Yeah, we're going to take a quick break.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll be right back. It's Watkins and Whitey, Kings Media Day at the practice facility at the Golden One Center in Sactown Sports.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Well, we have another very special guest here, Media Day at the Golden One, Whitey Gleason, Chris Watkins, joined by number 7, Sasha Vezenkov. Welcome, Sasha, to Sacramento. How are you?
Good, I'm good.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you guys.
What do you think of the team so far? I know it's probably been like a whirl.
Awesome.
We're talking, of course, with Sasha Vezenkov. How about you? I know you've talked about this, but what made you decide that, okay, it's time to go play in the NBA and play in Sacramento?
I think like the opportunity, you know, when you're 28, it's a little bit tougher. Like everything, you think as you get older, you think like more. When you're like 18, 17, you just go and live it, you know. It was a tough decision because back home, everything was pretty set. Good team, good organization, great fans, you know, family. But you never say no to this great opportunity. And the opportunity is great, like to be in a winning team, to be in a great organization, good chemistry from the president of the team to like the last who works for this team. So, you know, the chemistry, the family, it's like a big family. So that make me, you know, they showed me how much they want me throughout the whole year by visiting me so often. And as I said, like the opportunity that I can contribute to this team.
We've watched you a lot. How much did you watch the Kings and say, oh yeah, I can really play with that team?
Yeah, I watch them a lot, you know, because like NBA is different. But I think like the Kings try to play a little bit different than the stereotype we have in NBA. A lot of passes, a lot of fast pace cuts. So I've seen myself like fit in. So that's why that was also a reason, like because it was a team that played different from what I can do to the court. Of course,
tougher
like
adjustment, right.
tougher adjustment. But I think like the whole system fits me like the best.
How much have you seen Domas play, and how exciting is it if you have watched him play to try and visualize yourself playing off of him?
Yeah, I have watched the whole team obviously last year, not like the whole games, but a lot of games. Domas he's an all-star player, like 3 times. He's a great passer with great vision. So you just need to be on the right time, the right spot, the right moment. So I think I move well without the ball. So I think the connection will be good.
How did you learn to play basketball that way? You move so well without the ball. It's one of the first things people notice, and as you say, fits this system beautifully. How did you learn to play basketball that way?
You know, as you grow and as I sit down work, because like I think work, you have to put the work in off season, because like during the year you don't have the time to improve yourself a lot. You just maintain. So I've seen what my weaknesses are and what my strengths are. So you know, like people like fancy danks and like 10 threes and you know athletic, you know. So my type of game is not like attractive maybe sometimes to the fans, because like you have to understand basketball,
but it's effective.
but it's effective. So I had to do something except shooting really good, because from a young age I was shooting good. So, but I had to improve in other parts. So I started like watching good off-ball players, like how they move, what they do, and even though sometimes maybe you don't have to cut every time, but sometimes I would just keep cutting and keep cutting, and I learned that for the defender it's like tough when you keep moving, keep moving. So that's what I try to do, like keep moving, and that's like you need to be in shape every time. You need to work hard. You'll make mistakes, but like basketball is a game of mistakes. So I had also excel of shooting to improve other things. So that's one that I try to maximize my potential in this.
I don't mean to bring up painful memories, but that EuroLeague final was one of the most crushing things I've ever seen from a team. Do you have any hope to return and try and avenge that, or are you just kind of focused on the NBA journey right now?
It still hurts me. I'll not lie to you. I didn't pass over this because, as you said, when you're 9 months first and when you're dominating the semifinal and like you're 39 minutes, it was a perfect year. We won 3 more titles. And even though I'm here and I know I'm focused here, and I'm a guy who only thinks the future, I'll be honest. Like it's a thing. I'm watching like other sports, and I've seen like people winning, and I said like, why they win and we didn't? I know maybe selfish, because like let's be honest, there are more parts of life that are more important, and other things are like the most important things. But from one perspective, I said like, what we did wrong. Because when you do something wrong, like we didn't play bad, like we were winning. So why we didn't? But that's God's plan, and everybody's focused on the next year. I'm following my ex-team. I hope they do great. I'm here, and maybe God seeing and give me something better this year. Like something more. Let's see.
Isn't it funny? Great athletes and competitors. You win. You've won so many games, but the losses are the ones that you remember more, right?
A great friend of mine and European legend, who is now coach, Vasilis Panoulis, told me, my friend, like in basketball, out of 10 moments, 9 are hard and 1 is good. So, you have to be tough. Like for one good moment that basketball will give you, probably will give you like 5 or 10 hard moments. So, and the hard moments always, but that's not only basketball, that's in society. Like everybody, like the negative part, that's what stays in mind, because we're humans. The humans are like set like this. So always like the tough moment is the one who is like, it's there.
Yeah, I don't think enough people talk about with your situation. I mean, you're completely uprooting your life. You're moving to a brand new place. How has that transition been for you? How have you been able to adjust to that?
I'm thankful to my family, as I said, and to Sac family who like helped me with everything. It's tough. Like whoever said it's easy. Even now, as I said, 28 years old, you leave everything, you set up back home to come here.
Yeah.
But as I said, it's a dream, it's an opportunity. And I think like the fastest I adjust outside of the court, the easiest will be on the court too.
What about players that you've played with and against who've played in the NBA? If I may ask, what advice have they given you? Like, this is what the NBA level is like, in addition to everything culturally, but just the game. What advice have you gotten from guys who played in the NBA, European players?
Like I didn't talk because everybody faces it in different way. We can see like Europeans come here and have successful years, like Bogdan, who was here, Bogdanovic, and then we can see other players that they come and they play and they go back. Everybody has his own path. Everybody has his different situation and like difficulties and good moments. So I keep my own path. You have to search and research about it. Like whoever says, it's different. Like Sac was different 5 years ago than what is now. So every team is different year by year. Even like last year's Sacramento will be different from this year. So I have to, I have to face my difficulties. I have to like be strong and build from there and see how the season will go.
But you have to know, right? Basketball is basketball wherever it's played, and if you're making shots, there's going to be a spot for you on the floor.
Yeah, it's not only making shots, but from what I see, like in NBA, you have to do something really good. To be someone less where you can contribute to the team and help them in different aspects, but some aspects you have to like do them really great. So, I'll work out every day, be here, because that's how I succeed in my life. Work out, do 100% whatever it's up to you, you know. And then, you know, other teams play too basketball, other players, you know, control what you can control, and let's see.
Yeah. Where do you really see yourself impacting this team the most? Obviously, you're a fantastic shooter. You've mentioned cutting off the ball. Is it just kind of a combination of everything?
Yeah, like, you know, as I said, it's step by step, like knowing my teammates, they know, like them to know me. You know, as I said, like first preseason games, then the next official games, you know, you have to face it and you have to feel it in order to realize it. And game by game, I think I'll be better.
How important is your rebounding to helping this team at the defensive end?
It's good, you know, like I think I'm a good offensive rebounder. The team was like a little bit in the last position last year. Of course, like defensive rebounding will be something different because here the athleticism is different. But you know, a lot of film, a lot of video, like to study the game because like before you play the game, you have to study it and see how is it, and then to feel it, face it, and as I said, like, I think like game by game, the aspects of my game will be better.
Did you watch a lot of the Kings Warriors playoff series?
I watched like probably like out of the 7 games, I watched like the 5. Let's say.
What did you pick up from that, and what have you heard about playoff basketball and just kind of how different
it's different.
It is?
Like you can see it obviously from the TV, like the physicality, the whole energy is different because like I think basketball is a fair sport, but you know, 9 months you're fighting for something to play it for 2 weeks. That's the reality. Like, see what happened last year. Milwaukee was first for 9 months,
right?
And they lost like in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit harsh. Like, but that's what I said. Basketball is harsh, but you have to be ready. You can't be ready. You can't like press a button and be ready in the playoffs. So that's why you start like from today to build. But the most important from my experience is to be healthy. Like, that's the most important, to get in the playoffs healthy, and then like put everything you work on, like work hard.
And we'll let you go on this one, but what did you think of the crowd? I know it's different. You've played in arenas with loud crowds, and you saw that on TV, which is different. But what did you think of the atmosphere?
You know, like the atmosphere in Europe is totally different. But from what I hear, like the Sacramento fans are one of the loudest here in the NBA.
How is it different? I'm sorry, but you said in Europe it's different.
It's different. Like it's extremely, like, how to say, different aspects. Like of
one of your games got canceled, didn't it? I mean,
we didn't finish our
the crowd.
we didn't finish our game 4 last year, so it's different. You know, over there the fans are like, it's a passionate in both ways, in
they
good and bad way. Yeah, they're expressive. You know, so. That's it.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you
for stopping by. We appreciate it. All the best in Sacramento. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Sasha Vezenkov with us here. It's
appreciate
media day.
you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Sasha. Yeah. Oh, got a new
How about
favorite
that?
player?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that guy is ready to go. I mean, you know, he's got no trepidation that this is absolutely where he belongs. And, you know, it was crazy to hear him say, I mean, I shouldn't be surprised that he's really not that far removed from that EuroLeague final, but I kind of like to hear that still eats at him, you know, as a competitor. That really tells you just kind of who he is as a player. And
it's like you after Factor Fantasy.
Oh, 100%.
You wear that for a few days.
Yeah, I do. I have to wear it for a few days, and you know, it makes you stronger though. Every time I don't put on that Factor Fantasy crown, do
you have a minute?
Yeah. Do you have a minute? Come on.
All right. Now it's time.
We can't turn this down.
Right. Time to talk to.
We almost
legend.
turned down Monty McNair, but you know we can't turn this.
Well, it's
guy
a pleasure. It's
you guys have had all the heavy hitters.
Great.
I'm just feeling
G-Man with
a
us.
little bump on the moss on the bottom of the base of the tree.
Wow! Thank you, G-Man, for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Oh, this is you know, everybody gets excited in media day.
Yeah.
Everyone, the optimism and one thing or another, and that never changes.
Yeah.
But you look at how this thing has developed over the years. And Whitey, I know I'm talking with you earlier. You haven't been to one of these in a while.
And this is my first in this facility.
In this facility.
Yeah.
It's really stepped up, hasn't it?
It has, but also, as you know better than anybody, just the excitement this year. It's been quite a while since we've had this much anticipation.
Well, you know, last year was. I'm so impressed with what Mike Brown and his staff did, and all of the boxes they checked that I thought were going to take so much longer a period of time. I had a lot of optimism, but then to enjoy the season that we enjoyed, I mean, it revitalized everybody, even old broadcasters. You know? and it's great to see the fan base fired up, and it's great to, you know, they don't have to worry about selling tickets now. It's selling merchandise and things like that. That's the step that this organization has taken. Now, can you sustain? I mean, that's what, we all are anxious to find out, because you look around on the Western Conference, and I don't think, you can't even bat an eye and you can name 10 teams that are going to be in the mix, and maybe 12 or whatever. And so, can you stay healthy? Can all these pieces work? To me, there's genuine reason for optimism, but I caution, being the old folk that I am, don't let expectations carry you away.
Right? You've seen it.
Well, unfortunately, yeah. But this is as deep a roster as I can remember, maybe even deeper than the one that Adelman had in those 8 years. I think that Monty McNair and Wes Wilcox have just done a marvelous job of putting pieces together. So now the hard work begins for them tomorrow, and my gosh, we're playing basketball
I can't
Sunday.
believe it. I cannot believe it.
Isn't that crazy?
It's insane.
You look really surprised.
Yeah, I know. It's like someone just told him. That's what it is.
Man.
I mean, G-Man, yeah, you mentioned the amount of new people. Who are you most excited to see, or what are you most excited to see? Is it the guy that we were just talking to, Sasha? Is it Keegan, who had an incredible California Classic? Is it Domas and Fox? Who are you most excited to see?
You hit two of them. There are three that I'm really excited to see how they fit. Starting with Sasha. Way back when Wes Wilcox, I remember how optimistic he was and how determined he was, saying, we have got to get this guy signed and part of our organization. And, I've seen the clips. I don't know that much about him. Clips can be misleading, but everybody says that knows him and knows his game, that his basketball IQ is off the charts, his maturity, the fact that he got here a month ago and that he's willing, he's relocating and such a huge part of his life, and the fact quick release on the shot.
Yeah.
And I just think he's going to be a perfect fit for the Mike Brown. Second, Keegan. I want to see Keegan being aggressive. Those two games that tantalized us in California Classic were off the charts. But, can he do that now against the grade A competition?
Right.
But just seeing him become an aggressor, driving the basket, creating off the dribble rather than strictly a spot-up shooter. And the third guy I'm really intrigued by is McGee. JaVale is a rim runner and a shot blocker. Got a lot of miles on him, but I think it's going to be limited minute scenario. And I'm anxious to see what he can contribute into the mix. So, I love the way the guy works and runs the floor, and he seems to be, in my brief conversation with him, genuinely excited to be here.
Awesome.
It might have just been that he was talking to you, because we're excited.
Exactly.
You get excited talking to the G-Man. That'll do it.
Yeah.
Gary Gerald with us. You've seen it all. The Kings last year maybe snuck up on a few teams. They're not going to do that this year. Is that a factor?
Yes, I think it is. You got a target on your back, and there's certainly awareness. Hardcores and coaching staffs and one thing or another. We were hearing it through the year, the praise for Mike Brown and what the Kings were accomplishing. When you hear it from other coaches and organizations, you know that there's credibility, that it's not a mirage. You're not fooling yourself. That's really exciting. But now you got to prove it, as we say. And against such good competition throughout the Western Conference, it won't be easy. Nothing is easy when you're successful. Right. But the things are in place. Knock on whatever, you can stay relatively healthy. That was a huge part of last year. Even though, I say that knowing that Sabonis played, 3/4 of a season with a broken thumb. Nobody would have thought that was possible for him to put up the numbers he did. But it was an extraordinary year. And I'm fired up. I can't wait to see what, can you build on it?
Do you have any idea what media day number this is for you?
Yeah, somebody asked me that earlier, and I don't know. I may have missed somewhere along the line back when I was still doing the motorsport stuff for network television. I don't recall, but this is the 39th year, and I don't know. I think I've been around for all of them.
Wow.
I don't have any problem saying that.
No.
Yeah. 39 it is.
Sounds great to me.
Yeah.
Thinking back to the first one when Joe Klein was the Kings' first round draft choice.
Wow.
1985.
How does the excitement of heading into this year, how does it really does it even compare to years past, or does it feel like, you mentioned those Adelman teams with the depth of this, does it feel like this is kind of the first time it's been this exciting to head into the season?
I know there were a couple of times when I felt legitimately under, I think when Dave Yeager was coaching, had some success and it looked like a foundation was being built. But then for one reason or another, things didn't just really pan out the way you hoped it would. So from that standpoint, I think there's much more valid optimism in my mind than there's been in any time in a long, long time. And you go back to those 8 years under Adelman and the success that those guys enjoyed. And now, you're looking at a couple of established all-stars when you got Sabonis and you got Fox. And you look at where Keegan Murray could end up in 2 or 3 years in that kind of a mix, and the depth and all of those things. So I'm excited.
Well, you're a treasure, you know that, and you don't need us to tell you that, but you will never meet a more generous, more professional, great professional, kinder man than the great Gary Gerald. So thank you very much for coming by. It's honestly, it's a pleasure to talk to you. It's an honor to speak with you.
Thank you. Nice to have you back in the mix, Whitey, too.
I appreciate that very much. The G-Man, Gary Gerald, on Media Day.
Thank you.
By the way, all guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Watkins and Whitey back with more from Kings Media Day at the Golden One Center practice facility next on Sactown Sports.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Hi, it's Brian Bennett from Bennett's Restaurants in Roseville and Sacramento, and our newest restaurant, Bennett's West Side Grill at Rockland's Blue Oak Town Center on Lone Tree Boulevard. We believe in serving the freshest handcrafted foods in a warm, convivial setting. We feature prime seafood and hand-cut steaks, and we have a great wine list with 60 selections by the glass from just $12. Come on in and let us treat you like family and enjoy our wide selection of prime seafood and steak. Having a meeting or large group dinner, our newest restaurant in Rockland features 3 different size event spaces for large group gatherings. 80 guests, not a problem. Bennett's Kitchen Bar and Market, Eureka and Lead Hill Road in Roseville, and Bennett's American Cooking on Fair Oaks and Howe in Sacramento, and our brand new Bennett's West Side Grill, Rockland's Blue Oak Town Center on Lone Tree Boulevard. Come let us put a smile on your face and enjoy all our hospitality. Find us on the web at bennettsrestaurants.com. Eat well, stay well, and remember, Bennett's is where you'll always receive a hospitable welcome.
For 75 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and, many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 75th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
If your Medi-Cal is ending, Cover California is here to help. Cover California is a service from the state that helps you get affordable health insurance. In many cases, at no cost to you, just like with Medi-Cal. We have quality health plans and will help you every step of the way to get the one that works for you and your family. So, if you're no longer eligible for Medi-Cal, check out Cover California. We'll keep you covered. Learn more at coveredca.com.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Back at Kings Media Day, Golden One Center practice facility, Whitey Gleason, Chris Watkins. Do you remember this, Chris? It was right before the series between the Kings and the Warriors started.
Yeah.
And I think we had Deuce on, and I was telling Deuce, Alex Len is going to play in this series. And he got, blah, blah, blah. And joining us now, I told you he was going to play. I didn't know he was going to join us now. We're thrilled to have Alex Len joining us. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, guys.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Glad to answer whatever questions you guys have.
Awesome.
Yeah. What's the mood like in camp this year as Media Day is upon us compared to what it was just a year ago?
I feel like it's just a lot more like everybody familiar with each other, same coaching staff. So I think it's going to be a lot like smooth sailing going into the season. Having
a lot of continuity, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like we got the same players, same coaching staff. So I feel like the beginning of the season is going to be a lot faster for us. Just we will be able to just get rolling a lot faster than last year.
Yeah, I mean, last year he mentioned what was it like to kind of wait for your turn last year?
Yeah.
But then I mean, you took your opportunity and ran with it. Was that difficult to kind of wait it out and then just kind of know and watch every game and go through practices feeling like, man, I feel like I can help this team?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't easy at times. At times it was like, you let your ego get in the way a little bit. Like I should be playing with somebody not playing well, and then stuff like that. But I was just trying to focus on, just everyday tasks, just coming in, get my work in, get in the weight room, get extra shots at nighttime. And thanks to the coaching staff who kept me focused. Like they would always just talk to me, just keep waiting. Your opportunity might come, might not, but just keep. It's better to be ready than not. And Mike came to me, I think it was like 5 games left in the season,
right?
And he was like, "Man, you think you're ready to go?" I was like, "You give me a couple of games to get my legs under me." And then he was like, "All right, you have 5 games to get in shape before the playoffs."
Wow.
And they just happened.
You obviously were ready and you wanted that. Did it surprise you at all, though, that at that point he came to you like, "Hey, we want to ramp you up"?
To be honest, yes. I was like, it was late in the season. Usually after first 50, 60 games, you have your guys. And I feel like, all right, I was out of there, but it was like, I'm just there ready in case somebody gets an injury or something like that. But it worked out.
Yeah. Why was coming back the right move for you this year?
This year, I think it's more about, for me, it was more about just relationships and having a connection with the guys and kind of like unfinished business the way we finished last year. I felt like we should have won that Game 7 and just coming back. I think if everybody gets just a little bit better, we can push this thing.
Alex Len with us. I asked Monty McNair this question. Do you think that just having played Mike Brown's defense for a year, does that make you better at it this year, having played it for a season?
Yeah, I think
as a team.
That and having the same guys, like knowing personnel, know each other's weaknesses and strengths, and going into the season, we're just going to be. It's just going to be a lot more easier. We already know what to expect from each other, and just we can talk to each other a lot better from knowing, just keep each other accountable. I think that's going to be a lot easier going forward.
Was it strange? A lot of people couldn't understand. I couldn't understand why the defense at times on the road was so good, and then at home it wasn't nearly as good. Is there any explanation for that?
Nobody. I don't think we try to figure out all year, and we couldn't figure it out. So we're going to try to get better at it. We got JaVale, so we're going to try to protect the paint as much as we can, and hopefully we get better. The schemes from last year to this year. So
Gotcha.
I mean, it's no secret that in that playoff series, you guys really struggled with the glass and controlling the glass, and Kevon Looney had himself a fantastic series. What adjustments can you guys make this year to make sure that just doesn't happen again?
We'll see what coach come up with, but that Game 7 was tough though. Like it felt like just the ball was just bouncing their way every single time, especially in that third quarter. But I feel like coach talked about he might try to play 2 centers at the same time, like either Domas and me, Domas and JaVale. So we'll see if that works.
What was that like to play in that first game? You played so well, Game 1 against the Warriors. The crowd was unlike anything any of us had ever seen. What was that like for you to play in that game?
That was amazing. I don't know. Since I was young, I always kind of like the tournament games, like with the games with a lot on the line. I feel like it's no pressure. Like I just get excited for it. I don't know. I felt better than in the regular season game. I was so excited for the game. And
Is all the excitement just kind of carried you a little?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that too. Yeah, and you just felt the energy I don't know, it was just amazing. Like it was the best. Like, after this playoff run, I was like, man, I want to be in the playoffs to the rest of my career. It just is the best.
I got to tell you, you are my favorite player to watch for pregame warmups every single game. I make sure to watch yours. I'm sorry, it's not because of you, it's because Coach Triano throws you some of the most insane passes I have ever. He legitimately thinks he's Jason Williams. Do those passes ever catch you off guard, or is it just like, does he tell you he's going to do these things?
He think he's a Pete Maravich.
He really does. No, he really does.
But when he throw the bad passes, I actually like it because he prepares me for the game, just for the bad passes, and just kind of gets my my reaction time going. So I like when he's doing that.
Yeah.
What would you say that people that are sympathetic to what your homeland is going through, what is the best way for us to help? If people want to help out Ukraine, what would you say is the best way for us to help?
I mean, the best way is we need weapons. That's number one thing. Just because we literally in disadvantage. We don't have. They got advantage on us in people, in artillery, weapons, everything. So if anybody can help with weapons, that's number one thing. And
just donations.
Yeah, I have my own foundation, but I help refugees because NBA told me I can't help with I can't help the army. So just because it's business at the end of the day. And but I have my Lend a Hand Foundation that helps with refugees. The people who got affected, lost their families and homes, and they moved. So I try to help with everything I can.
And how can we find more information on that? And we will make sure that gets out.
It's Lend a Hand Foundation on Instagram and the website. The same thing. Lend a Hand with the LEND Hand Foundation.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
What do you ultimately hope that this team can accomplish this year?
Coach made it clear for us, championship. That's what we're competing for. And I think we got enough to do it.
Yeah.
We got enough power in it.
Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it. We're big fans.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Alex.
It's nice to meet you. Yeah, Alex Lynn joining us. We'll be back with more from Kings Media Day from the Golden One Center practice facility. It's Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas. Actual Pie customer.
As a small business, we're always looking for ways that we can offer the quality product and get some cost savings.
Meet Michelle from J.J. Pfister Distilling Company, a small business in California. When looking for workers' comp coverage tailored to the company's needs, she discovered Pie Insurance.
We heard about Pie Insurance being geared for a small business, gave Pie a call, and ended up switching.
Is your small business overpaying for workers' comp insurance? See how much you could save at trypie.com. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate, so your workers' comp audit experience is simplified.
We saved about 30% off of our workers' comp insurance when we switched to Pie.
It's as easy as pie to get the savings you deserve. What are you waiting for? Ask your agent for Pie or get a quote in 3 minutes at trypie.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Exergen thermometers are a top choice of medical professionals at highly ranked hospitals across the U.S. With kids back at school, keeping them healthy is important. Make Exergen thermometer the chosen thermometer for your home or business to check for fever, where accuracy matters. When measuring temperature at home and at work, use an Exergen thermometer to keep your family and colleagues safe. Available at Walgreens and other participating retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and I recognize, just like my friends at American Energy Heat and Air, that your time is important. And that's why shopping for a new air conditioner is now easier with American Energy Heat and Air's online quoting tool. All you have to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote right now. It'll help you determine what system you're going to need to get. It'll provide the best pricing options, all from the comfort of your home without having to have somebody come to your home. You know how annoying that is? They come in and everybody there is so sweet and nice, but how much better is it to be able to get it on demand? Visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. Or if you want to give them a call and talk through what your needs are, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Back at Media Day, Golden One Center practice facility, Whitey and Watkins, and joining us now is the king of the Kings, Malik Monk. How are you today, Malik?
I like that name right there. I think I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that as my name.
King of Kings.
I'm good today, though. I'm good. What about y'all?
Yeah, we're good. We're
What's
good.
up?
It's been good.
Welcome back. Another year of Kings basketball. What's the atmosphere like, the mood like, compared to what it was just a year ago when there was a lot less certainty about how all of this was going to fit together?
Oh yeah, it's moving a little smoother.
Yeah.
Everybody know what we're doing. Everybody's on the same page, so we're just ready to get started.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I saw this summer you, Kevin, and Keegan were golfing a lot. It looked like you guys picked up the bug.
No. They've been had the bug. I caught the bug bad. I caught it bad.
How's your game looking these days? What's the strong points? What's the weak points?
I could chip pretty decent.
Okay.
I can hit my irons pretty good. I just can't hit the ball off the tee. So
sure.
I ain't got there yet. So I
do
just
you yank it? Do you miss it? Do you slice it?
Sometimes I slice. Sometimes I fade a little too much, and sometimes I just go straight left. So I just use five or 4-iron off the tee.
Oh, okay.
Hit it like 220 and I'll be all right.
Yeah.
Easy, something light.
Yeah.
Is there any like transferable skills you feel like from golf and basketball, like whether it be
touch,
patience,
really?
touch?
Yeah,
Okay.
just touch.
Yeah.
With the putting and chipping. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's why he's a good chipper.
Okay.
Yeah. Then
Exactly.
I think it just mentally,
right.
it just makes your mental way stronger.
Sure.
Yeah. Malik Monk is with us. Who is? Let me ask you a silly one. Of all your teammates, who is the most likely, or yourself included on this team, who's the most likely to get Taylor Swift to come to a Kings game?
Probably me for sure.
No hesitation. Absolutely no hesitation.
Probably me for sure.
Yeah. How's that coming?
I ain't tried it yet. I gotta wait till Travis now.
What was it like? I know, speaking of New York, Taylor was out in New York yesterday. What was it like for you to head out to Fashion Week?
Oh, Fashion Week was it was a little crazy, but I liked it, man. I liked it.
Yeah.
A crazy experience.
Is that something you always wanted to do?
Yeah, exactly. I've been wanting to do it for a minute, but I wasn't ready mentally because it was a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot to deal with,
Yeah.
especially if you're not ready for it. But yeah, it was a great experience for me.
You hoping to one day get into fashion design?
Yeah, I want to make pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like natural, all different type of all terrain hunting pants.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Wouldn't expect that. All right.
Wow. All right. Yeah, Malik Monk with us. One thing that some of us learned about you last year, I learned, you already knew it, of course, was your playmaking skills.
Mm-hmm.
But you play like a guy that is showing everyone, I'm better than you think I am, and I'm going to show you that.
Every time.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
for
did
sure.
that in the playoffs, especially last
Yes,
year,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir. A lot of people didn't know that because I came into the league just being a scorer, and finally came to Sac. Monty, Wes, Vivek, and Mike let me be me, and everybody can see what I can do now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, not only was last year the first year the Kings were in the playoffs, but it was also your first experience in the playoffs. How did your expectations of what the playoffs would be like mix with the reality of what it was?
It exceeded it, man. I thought it was gonna be way less than what it was.
Uh-huh.
Was that the crowd or the intensity?
Yeah,
of the
because Golden
opponent, or-
State crowd was terrible.
Man, you said it. You said it, man.
Yeah, that crowd was terrible. That's why I was like,
It was
in the
disappointing
iffy.
for sure.
Then we come back to here and you can't hear yourself talk on the court. And but yeah, man, I loved it. We're gonna get back there this year. That feeling is great being in the postseason. Seeing you playing in the postseason and just going out there and playing in front of all your fans and all your family. So yeah, I love that feeling.
One of the things we've talked about a lot today with different people is that the Kings now have, seems like there's a culture, which is just everyone seems to know what you're doing. And I think a big part of that is the attitude that you bring, which is basically we don't care what you think.
Yeah,
We're doing what we do best. Is that? Would you agree that that's?
I think that Mike brought that too. Then I think me coming off the bench with the second unit, bringing a different look from the first unit shows the same thing. So yeah, I think that's what I take pride in, telling everybody we don't care. We just gonna be here and we're gonna probably outwork it.
Yeah. You remind me in some ways when Bobby Jackson was here, he was a great six man,
Exactly.
and he played like I should be starting, but I'm not. But okay, I'll make the best of this. Is that kind of thing?
Yeah, but so it's all good. We all just trying to win, and if we all win, everybody wins. So that's all I'm doing.
You kind of infamously last year set things off in that Clipper game, or after that Clipper game, when you said, we're here too, people got to play us.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still feel like after this offseason, I mean, there's been tons of moves, tons of people talking about other teams, not much talk.
Yeah, they ain't talking about us.
Yeah, you guys still feel like you're the underdog? You still feel like you guys got the chip on your shoulder?
We the underdog, but people want to beat us.
Yeah.
So I think we the underdog to all the analysts and all those guys, but people in the NBA, they know we here. And they know it's going to be a hard game when they come in here, or we come there to play them. So keep sleeping on us, though. I like it. I love it.
Malik Monk, our guest here, Media Day. What do you think is an area in which your team needs to improve and will improve this year?
Defensively. Yeah, we just got to lock in defensively. And
because you guys at times on the road played really
exactly.
good.
We did. Then we come back home, and it all goes out the window. But, yeah, man, that's just us being human. I think that's all it is, and us just trying to see what'll work for us. And we just tried to outscore everybody last year, and it worked a little bit for us, but obviously it didn't work in the playoffs. And I think all of us see it now. So we're gonna come in and lock in on the defensive end.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people describe Sacramento's fandom like a college sports team.
It's definitely like
yeah. Well, how would you describe it?
Just like that. Just like that. Just like
Kentucky,
when I was at Kentucky. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
1,000%, man. Because what else is around here?
Right.
Besides.
And how does that differ from? I mean, we got you from the Lakers. How does it kind of differ from that kind of fandom where it's almost like everybody talks about?
It's a lot of bandwagon Laker fans.
Sure.
And
we
the
know
Sac,
about that.
Yeah, exactly. And the Sac fans, they're here from 2000.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's real love,
Yeah.
man. It's real love coming from Sac. Yeah, but I love it.
Malik Monk, we appreciate your time very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your time. Yeah, best of luck this year.
Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah, the king of the kings.
King of the Kings.
Yeah, I want to know Malik Monk.
And look at that. I think we're going. We're just swapping right in.
All right. Yes. Media Day here. Hello, sir. Kevin
How
Gleason.
You doing? Chris.
Yeah. Number 13, Keegan Murray joins us here on Sactown Sports. Malik says we dubbed him because his name is Malik, the king of the Kings, and he likes that. What do you think of that?
King of Kings.
That's a nickname?
Yes.
I don't know about
Does
that.
Malik need his?
That's a little wild.
He doesn't need to be inflated anymore than he already is.
He's all good.
I was telling him I saw you, Kevin, and Malik were playing a lot of golf this summer. How did that go? Or are you the king of golf for this team? Or?
Yeah, they never beat me.
Yeah, I would assume. You played in high school, right? Or have been playing for a while?
Yeah, I played 4 years in high school. So.
Oh, okay. So you're just
steady?
Dominating them.
Yeah.
I'm long off the tee. What is it?
I'm long off the tee.
Yeah.
I have a pretty good short game. It's just, I guess when I got a long iron in my hands, it's iffy, but I'm pretty good off the tee.
Do you give them tips, or is it because I know when you're a lot better than the people you're playing with, it's kind of like, you see them struggle and it's like, I feel like I could give you tips, but might not. Do you just kind of let them rock with?
I let them roll.
Yeah.
I mean, Malik's gotten a lot better from
Sure.
when I played with him in the beginning of the offseason to the end. So he's gotten a lot better for sure.
Right.
The way you improved last year, and then you've had such a great summer, a lot of people are really excited about what you can do this year. How do you feel about where your game is, how much you improved, you bounced back and played much better after a slow start in the playoffs? Where are you right now? What are you expecting from yourself offensively this year?
Yeah, I mean, I feel confident in myself on the court physically. I feel a lot better. And I feel like the end of the playoffs, the last couple of games, it really helped me going to the offseason knowing that I can play at the highest level of basketball and be really good. So just experiencing that, taking what I learned during the season and the off season, working out with different people, I feel like it's helped me a lot, and I'm just excited to see my growth this year.
last year you were crazy efficient off of no dribbles or at least one dribble.
Yeah.
And then, in the California Classic, we saw almost a completely different person. And, it's everybody has been talking about the expectations for you this season. How is it going to be tough to kind of balance like what you can do versus what you want to show? Or is that just basketball? You're just going to go out there and kind of just feel it out.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there's a lot of stuff going on around.
Sure.
But I know that I'm going to stick to myself. I feel like if you go out of your comfort zone or whatever, it can lead to bad things. So I'm going to stick to myself, stick to the offense. I know that I can bring different elements that I did last year. So just being able to be more comfortable doing that, finishing at the rim, mid-range, stuff like that. So
Sure.
I'm just excited to kind of get to it in that aspect.
Yeah, Keegan Murray is with us here at Media Day, Sactown Sports. What would you say is the best thing about playing for Mike Brown? What would you say, and we know he's doing a great job, what would you say is the toughest thing about playing for Mike Brown?
I'd probably say the best thing is the intensity he brings every day. Livens the gym, livens everyone's spirits. I think that's really cool. Toughest thing is he wants to be perfect at everything, and I feel like that's a good thing for us. It's a good thing for me to be able to know that perfection is a standard. So you go into every single practice, and you might mess up something, but he wants you to be perfect. So I feel like that's helped me a lot.
Coaches are going to coach, right?
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if I've heard you talk about this. Obviously, your brother got picked 23rd. The Kings had that 24th pick.
Yeah.
Did you start to kind of talk and say, hey, like it looks like this might happen, or were you just kind of going to let the night unfold and then kind of deal with whatever it was after?
Yeah, kind of let the night unfold. I mean, I've joked with him about him maybe getting drafted to Sacramento and stuff like that, like beforehand, but. That night, I kind of just want to be him.
Yeah.
Don't put any pressure on him or whatever. But I know Portland's a good spot for him. I know they like him and stuff like that. So I couldn't be happier for him and where he landed. So
Chris has been in a game on the radio where we play a soundbite, either you or your brother, and try to guess who's who.
Yeah.
And he's actually really good at it.
Really?
And no one, it's almost impossible, but he's actually really good at it.
You guys have slight differences. Your voice is a little bit deeper. That's
slight. But I mean, I feel like the more we've grown up, the more we've kind of looked alike.
Sure.
Really
sounded alike. So.
What are you willing to share with us about how your rookie season went compared to what you expected when you were drafted by Sacramento?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to be a guy. My rookie, I knew what situation I was going in. Good team, a team that has really good players, can get to the playoffs, and I knew I wanted to be a guy that could go into the game and be productive. To break an NBA record, I didn't expect that at all.
When did you first become kind of aware of that?
I'd probably say it was towards like the end, like closer to when I got it. I was on pace and we had a lot more games left. So it was just something that kind of happened, and it was cool. So something I never expected in my wildest dreams.
Yeah.
You look like a completely different person in that playoff series from game 4 on. I mean, it just felt like something clicked. I don't know if the game slowed down or whatever it was. What did you learn from being in the playoffs? And I mean, did it exceed your expectations? Was it? I mean, just what were your emotions through that series?
Yeah. I mean, as a rookie, it's tough, just because you have no clue what to experience.
Right.
I mean, you watch it on TV and stuff, the atmospheres, but you don't really know until you're actually playing in it. And I feel like game 3, I was kind of playing at the end. We're getting blown out. I hit a couple shots, and I feel like that kind of turned my whole series around. Started playing with more confidence in game 4 and so on. And I feel like that series kind of helped me a lot going into the off season.
Sure.
Just knowing that I can be a really good player in this league.
No disrespect to the Warriors. They've won multiple championships. Keegan Murray is with us here in Sactown Sports. But you guys had to feel like, wow, we could have won that. How much is that fueling you as the new season starts?
Yeah. We know that we're a competitive team. We know that that's a series that if we just got one more game.
It was right there for you, right?
Yeah, hit one more game, hit a couple more shots, maybe won a game at home. Who knows how long we could have been playing. So we kind of have that fire in us from last year, and I feel like that's helped a lot of us in the offseason be motivated and just continue to be productive.
We saw the debut this summer of Uncle Keegs for the first time. We have you, hanging around with De'Aaron and Rasay and baby Rain.
Yeah.
Have you been around babies a lot in your life, or what was that? What was that experience like? Yeah, it kind of seemed like that was a fresh experience for you.
Yeah, it was very new. I mean, I have a younger sister, but she was born when I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
So I don't really have much experience at all with babies. So to be able to see Rain kind of grow up from being a toddler to actually being an infant, to be able to start crawling and be able to stand up on his own now. So it's been cool to see him and be able to push him around a little bit. So.
Keegan, as you know, the one thing that no one seems to be able to explain about the season last year was that you guys were so good statistically on the road defensively, and at home it was a different story. You have any idea why it worked out that way?
Nah. I have no clue. I didn't even know that was a stat, but I don't know. Maybe flip that around this year. Maybe even it out a little bit is our goal. But we want to be a lot better defensive team this year, whether it's home and road. So
how much of that starts with you at your position?
Yeah. I mean, some of the best players in the league are at my position, so falls a lot on me. I feel like there's spurts where I was good defensively. There's spurts where I was really bad. So I'm just trying to be consistent in being a better defender. That obviously I feel like in the weight room I've gotten a lot better laterally, physically. So I'm just excited to go against some of the best.
Can I ask him the Taylor Swift question real quick? I know you
go ahead.
Because we asked Malik who on this team would have the best chance of getting Taylor Swift to come to a Kings game. Malik said Malik Monk. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to agree with him. I'm going to have to agree with him.
Fair enough. Keegan, it's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Congratulations on last year. Best of luck this year.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Right.
Appreciate
the one and only Keegan Murray with us. We'll take a quick timeout. Come right back here. Whitey and Watkins from the practice facility, Kings Media Day, Sactown Sports.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
As a business owner, outfitting your van fleet with Mercedes Sprinter vans is just smart business. Mercedes Sprinters qualify for a remarkably generous IRS Section 179 tax deduction. This means you literally save thousands in tax savings. Family-owned Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has a dedicated Mercedes van department with trained commercial vehicle experts ready to help you take on any job. See our selection of capable Mercedes vans at mbofstockton.com.
For 75 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and, many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 75th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is the best place to go all in and all out. Go all in at our table games, then go all out to win on the area's only 3-story indoor kart track. Or go all in for our famous award-winning buffet. Then go all out at our state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and beautiful resort hotel, you can go all in for fun and all out for comfort. We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
Lead generation is one of the most important aspects of any marketing campaign. Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products or services to them. Go to aimyourdigital.com today. aimyourdigital.com.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Your home
Back
for
at Kings
Kings
Media
basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Yeah. Whitey Gleason and Chris Watkins. I got a little excited there, pardon me, because nice enough to join us. You know, the Kings had 2 All-Stars last year.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they had 2.
One of us joins us now. Domantas Sabonis is our guest. Hello, sir. How are you?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming
How's what can you tell us about your thumb?
It's good. Look.
Hey, look at that. 2 functioning hands.
So no surgery, just rehabbing?
Rehab, yeah. There was an option to either do one or the other, and both over the same timeline, you know, so wasn't going to be able to play regardless, whatever I did for purpose of national team. So anytime you don't have to put screws in anywhere in your body, better not to.
Yeah. What can you share with us about how hard it was to play through that injury last year? Because you were amazing with a broken thumb.
It was tough. You know, a lot of medicine and ice and stuff to not feel it sometimes, but
a few Advil here and there.
Exactly. You know, they were like Skittles at a point.
I mean, you mentioned you had to skip out on the FIBA tournament. Obviously, actually, Lithuania did fantastic. I mean, did that hurt though to have to miss out on the summer basketball?
Definitely. You know, it's something I've done every summer since I was 14, 15 years old. So definitely hurts, you know, especially when you can't help them get a bid to the Olympics. You know, now we got to play this Olympic qualifying tournament next year, which makes the summer even longer.
Right.
You know, but the goal is to win it and then qualify for the Olympics.
Domantas, you playing through that thumb injury. We know Keegan had some things. De'Aaron Fox had some things. How far do you think you guys playing through those injuries went towards establishing a culture and establishing the fact that, hey, we're about winning above anything else?
Oh, huge. I bet if any of us decided to sit out and actually heal, we probably wouldn't be here today. You know, it would have been a whole different record, whole different situation that happened. So as players, when you look at the schedule, especially when my situation happened, I would have missed probably like 26 games, you know, and I couldn't do that to myself. I couldn't do that to the team, you know. And
was it a consideration at all when you first got hurt? Did you have to look at that?
Well, I missed that one Denver game, and we played back-to-back. I was actually fighting with the medical staff. I was like, if I'm going to play regardless the back-to-back the second day, why can't I just play this day? Like, what is a day going to do at the end of the day? Right. They said it did a lot, but I was fighting to play that first game, too.
We were talking with Chris Duarte earlier today, and I asked him the same question I'll ask you. It seemed like almost instantly after he was moved here to Sacramento, I saw you guys working out in L.A. with Doug and Coach Barbosa. What was that like? What was that experience like, and what does it feel like to be playing with Chris again?
It's awesome. You know, we had this great connection in Indiana his rookie year. He speaks Spanish, I speak Spanish.
Right.
You know, we just kind of got along very easily.
How many Spanish speakers are on the team now? Because I think he said Sasha also speaks Spanish.
Oh, Sasha maybe. Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to him Spanish, but I should throw some words in response. No, it was awesome. You know, I reached out to him right after. I was excited about the trade, and I brought him out to LA for a week, and then 3 weeks later, he's still with me. He's 2 weeks in LA, 1 week in Napa. I'm like, don't you have a family?
Yeah. That's awesome.
You had a great year. Obviously, the series against the Warriors didn't go the way you would have wanted. To what extent do you have to prepare for some teams maybe to defend you this year in a similar fashion to what you saw from the Warriors? I know not every team can do that, but to what extent do you have to prepare for that this offseason?
Yeah, I think last series that really showed us a way of how we can exploit things if they do guard us that way. And obviously on me improving my jump shot and our teammates getting open and trying to like have options B and C to everything. You know what I mean? We really just came off those screens and shot threes, and they really kind of took that away from us. But coaches already put some stuff in, that we've heard about, and we're excited to see in training camp. What else?
Was that a series where both teams knew each other and what you're running so well that it became a really, really tight series because they're familiar with your system, you're familiar with their system?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it was at one point it was just let's just who's going to make it harder on the other team, and then let the best man win, and that's what it felt like.
This summer, I mean, you mentioned exactly how they covered you. Like, do you hyper focus on trying to, get that mid-range jump shot better, or is it still, business as usual, kind of working on the totality of your game?
It's definitely something that's been throughout my career,
Sure.
Getting more
right.
range.
Yeah, we saw you extend your range out to the 3-point line last year.
And being consistent, but at the same time, I'm always put in a tough position. I'm kind of the main hub facilitator in the offense. So if I'm taking these mid ranges every time they open us, we technically don't have that offense anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a balance that I have to figure out, and with my IQ, I just got to try and figure out when is the right time to shoot these open shots, when is the right time to get teams going and get some movement, sometimes it's the right time. Sometimes if it's open and I made a couple, maybe I pass it up and I go and get a teammate open because that's what you're feeling towards the game.
Yeah. Domantas Sabonis, our guest here. What was that first game like, the atmosphere, game one against the Warriors? Because some of us have been in Sacramento a long time. We've never seen anything like that. How about you throughout your NBA career?
I mean, I think we all had goosebumps. Just talking about it, I got goosebumps. We had goosebumps in the hallway, and then when we came out, then it was like, wow. I don't think no one made a layup in the first 2 minutes. Everyone was like, what's going on? But it definitely helped. The fans have been amazing all year since the day I got here. So, it's awesome.
Yeah.
You obviously, signed the big extension this offseason. What made that the right move to get out of the way now?
I'm happy here. Like I said, the day I got traded here, the fans made me feel like at home when I walked out, and they had a standing ovation, and all that stuff matters to me. And I can be here now for 5 more years, and we're building something special here. So last year was just the first year, so we gotta keep improving.
How exciting is it for you to play now with Mr. Vezenkov, because he moves well without the ball. We know you're a great passer, and he also is a pretty good rebounder, and you could use some help in that regard. So how exciting is it to think about playing with him this year?
I'm very excited. I'm sad during pickup this week, I didn't get to play on his team, so hopefully in training camp, me and him get to play more together and kind of work on that chemistry early.
Yeah.
How much have you seen of his game, and what do you think just in general he'll bring to
pretty
this
good
team?
shooter, right?
Yeah, pretty decent.
Great shooter, can move, super smart player. I mean, when you're the MVP of the EuroLeague, that's not easy to do. And by him doing it with his game, with not many dribbles, is very impressive.
Right. Yeah. You in some ways play like your dad. He's bigger. Is that just natural? You just evolve that way? Is it genetics, or did you maybe see him play with some video of him or watch him play at all?
Obviously I watched a lot of film on him, but like a lot of things, my mom, my family are like, wow, like things you do, little gestures and stuff. Like,
oh yeah,
it's him. Like I don't even notice because I'm just playing. So
I mean, he was a lot of people don't know what a great player he was.
Yeah. So I mean, I try to learn some things, but at a point, like he's one of a kind. I'm a completely different player. But if I could learn anything from him, like I try and pick up on it.
You've been in Sacramento now for a year and some change. Last year was your first full season. How are you liking the area? How are you getting adjusted? I know you spend a lot of time up in Napa.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it here. It's warm.
Right.
You got palm trees. The fans are good. It's sunny most of the time. So, yeah, I'm very excited. I love it here. My wife's family's down in LA, so everything's close.
Perfect.
But what's one area in which you think the Kings this year they will improve? We know in areas which they need to improve, but in your mind, hey, we will be better in this way. What would you say?
I would say in defense and physicality. For sure. We kind of unlocked something during the playoffs that we didn't know we had. And we just wasted so much energy on it that we didn't have that much on the offense, So if we condition ourselves to do that throughout a season, it starts tomorrow in training camp, So I feel like that everyone knows what we can do. Our coaching staff knows. We know. We saw how we felt out there. So we just got to do it from the jump now.
Mm-hmm. It seemed like 50 games was the goal for last season. Do you have something that you're hoping to accomplish as a team this year?
A goal, just
keep it going.
Keep it going. Keep it
Yeah.
rolling. Keep lighting the beam. Keep getting better.
What can you tell us about the in-season tournament?
Oh, I'm excited. I
Really?
came from Europe. We had that. We had that
Mm.
growing up. It's gonna be a lot of fun. No one in this. I feel like no one in this league wants to lose. We're all competitors, so like they're all.
That starts next month.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's a lot of like rumors and stuff about not rumors, but like you hear people like these games and stuff, but like I think it's gonna be great. So no one's gonna want to lose. You're playing against a bad team. You're gonna want to win that game. So I think once that first team wins and lifts that trophy up, I think next year it'll be a whole different vibe towards it.
Awesome. Domas, we know you guys have a lot of duties and obligations today, getting pulled a lot of different directions.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate you.
We appreciate it very much.
Thank you so
It's
much.
Whitey and Watkins will be right back with more on Media Day from the Kings practice facility at the Golden One Center on Sactown Sports.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17, in-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Fall is here, and Good Guys Heating and Cooling wants to make sure you're taken care of through the month of September. From now until September 30th, book any tune-up or troubleshooting appointment and get 100% of the trip charge credited back on any completed repairs. Normal big box companies charge $89 or more. Why not put that toward what needs to be fixed? Call Good Guys Heating and Cooling now at 530-GOOD-AIR. That's 530-GOOD-AIR. Or book your appointment now at goodguysheatingcooling.com. Best service, best price, guaranteed. And that's no bull. License number 1057618.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Whitey and Watkins, Media Day, having fun, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Blast.
it's
I mean,
incredible.
like musical chairs over
Yeah.
here.
By the way, all guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Nice enough to join us. How often did we talk about him this summer? I think they should sign. I think they should bring him in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
And
having
he's
a great
here.
camp.
And
Jordan
you're here.
Ford.
Oh, yes,
hello.
sir.
How are
Yes,
you?
sir. I'm great. I'm doing great. How you doing?
Good. How proud are you of the way you played this summer, knowing the opportunity that was there for you?
Oh, I mean, super excited. It's definitely the opportunity I feel like I needed. Just to show all the hard work that I put in. Not just this past summer, but my whole life. To go in the summer league and leave it all out there and get the opportunity I needed, and it led me to where I am today, right here. So
And play a great point guard, knock down some shots as well, right?
Yeah, definitely got to do that.
It's this has got to feel like this entire summer has got to feel crazy. I mean, who would have thought it would have happened? Was it hard to not let go of the dream these past couple of years? I mean, you've been grinding, you've been playing overseas, playing in the G League. Did it at any point feel like this day might not ever come back?
You know what? I've always believed in myself and my journey.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't going to be something that's easy, and just spending 3 years in the G League, it really just helped me just focus on my journey, and it taught me a lot of patience.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of talent in the G League as well, and I feel like it really got me ready for the NBA style of play.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited.
Yeah, how special is it to wear that uniform being from this area?
Oh, I feel like it's every kid's dream, growing up, being from Sacramento.
You probably literally in the playground or wherever you were thinking that, right? Jordan?
Literally, literally on my little Nerf hoop, trying to root the Kings on, and I mean, to be able to play for my hometown, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah. What does it mean to you personally to kind of pave the way for Sacramento ballers? I mean, there's not really many NBA players who end up coming out of Sacramento. What does it mean to kind of be an example for all those high school kids or kids in the AAU circuit in Sacramento? What does it mean to kind of be that example?
Oh, it means everything to me. Just for people that have been able to watch me growing up, and just to let people know that it's possible to come out of Sacramento and, you know, to follow your dreams. And if you want to become an NBA player, there's a route to do that. It's going to take a lot of hard work and dedication, and hopefully I've set a good example for people that want to do that.
Jordan Ford with us here in Sactown Sports. Obviously, you got a lot of coaching, a lot of advice on your way up. Is there one piece of advice that maybe you look back, and maybe there's not, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but one piece of advice where you think, man, that was the best advice I got, that maybe you can share with young players who also, you know, aspire to do big things someday?
I would say the equation for everybody isn't the same. So, you know, being a smaller guy that's less athletic, wingspan is not super long. It's going to take a lot more work to get in the position you want to, if that's to become an NBA player.
Work on that ball handling, huh?
Definitely work on that ball handling, working on that perimeter shooting. But it's going to take – the equation is different. Like, for somebody that's maybe 6'10", the equation is going to be a little different. You're going to have to work a lot harder, maybe twice as hard. And yeah, if that's something you want to do, I think you should definitely fully pursue it.
Yeah, but as a smaller player, there's no substitute, right? For you got to have the handle. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have a complete game. Definitely got to work on your ball handling, your shooting. You got to find tricks and things like that to get around the bigger players in the NBA. Maybe it's a floater or whatever that is. So, yeah.
I know from a couple friends that I grew up with that you came up in the Sacramento AAU circuit, and just in general, how do you feel like the state of the Sacramento basketball circuit kind of is? Do you feel like it's still growing? Do you feel like it needs some help in being lifted up, or what do you just kind of feel like the state of Sacramento's hoop scene is?
Yeah, I definitely feel like there's some really good players that come out of Sacramento, but I also feel like what I've noticed watching from afar is that players sometimes they might be really good in Sacramento, they might go play somewhere else.
Right, they'll transfer to prolific prep or something. Yeah.
Exactly. And I've always just been a fan of, you know, finding a program within your city and trying to make it work there. And yeah, that's just how kind of I am. I think there's no better feeling than, you know, playing in your hometown and, you know, letting the fans come and watch you as a local product.
Yeah, Jordan Ford, nice enough to join us. We know that, you know, there's a long ways to go before the season starts. A lot of things got to be figured out. But give us a look at this roster through a point guard's eyes. What do you think of all the various options a point guard has here in this Kings offense?
Oh, I think it's fantastic. We have a ton of shooting. You know, it's going to be – they're going to make my job really, really easy. You know, if I touch the paint, I don't always have to shoot it over the big. I could just kick it out, and we have shooters everywhere and people that are just really, really talented on both sides of the ball. So
you got a center that you could run the offense through if you want to.
Oh man, yeah, hit him right in that pocket. Let him do his thing, and yeah, I'm super excited to, you know, get to know these guys, their playing styles, and get to work with them the rest of the year.
Being on the two-way contract, how do you approach like the Stockton part of this, where, you know, you're you know, traditionally when you're in the G League, you're trying to, you know, get noticed by the NBA, you're going to try and put up big numbers, but, you know, as the point guard of the team, it's kind of your job to orchestrate things. How do you kind of balance what you're going to try? You know, you still want to show the game you have, but also your job as the point guard of that team. How do you just kind of balance that out?
I think it's the same as it was last year. Just make the right play,
right?
Whether that's to score the ball, whether that's to pass the ball, just make the right reads, try to make the right play. Your job as a point guard is to kind of orchestrate it and learn when you're supposed to score, when you're supposed to pass. So, yeah, my job as the point guard is to, you know, control the pace and just make the right play.
Yeah. Keep playing basketball.
Yeah.
What gives you more joy? Perfect pass for an assist or knocking down a shot?
I would say a perfect pass. Definitely gives me, you know, if I put it right in the money and somebody knocks down a three, you know, to help a teammate out to score, you know, that gives me a lot of satisfaction. Yeah.
During the summer league, Coach Luke Laux talked about this practice where Keegan Murray allegedly just went ballistic. I think he said like 16 or 18 straight points. Were you a part of that practice, or just what was it like to watch Keegan during summer and him kind of, you know, explode onto the scene the way he did?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, I can't name the exact practice because it felt like he was doing it every practice, you know. It felt like he was doing it every practice. And, yeah, the game, it carried right over to the games. And it was just super fun to, gets to know Keegan a little bit and to just pass him the ball and let him do what he does, make shots. So yeah.
I hope you don't mind. We actually started this summer, and we were calling you Folsom Lake Ford because we're trying to get you a deal there, some kind of endorsement there. So I hope that's okay.
That's
I don't know.
Cool with me. I'll take it. I'll take the
Get your
endorsement.
agent working on that.
Let's build that up.
Are you a football fan at all?
Oh, I'm not much of a football fan. Sometimes I will watch the 49ers play if they're on, but I'm not too much of a football fan.
I was just going to ask you which quarterbacks you think would make good point guards. So Brock Purdy, what kind of point guard do you think Brock Purdy would make?
Is that the quarterback for the 49ers?
It is.
Yeah. See, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't even speak on it because I don't watch
basketball. He's a basketball player. Yeah, my bad.
What are your personal goals for this year? I mean, again, on the two-way contract, do you have any numbers you're trying to reach, or is it just kind of continuing to grow, whatever that may look like?
I definitely don't like to put like a cap on what I want to accomplish. But my goal this year is to just learn as much as I can, take as much in from the coaches, from the players, and just learn as much as possible. And yeah, I would say that's probably my main goal. And then just to obviously being a point guard, I love to win. So whether that's with Stockton, whether that's with Sacramento Kings, both of our team's goals is to win a championship. So that's definitely my goal.
Jordan, before we let you go, and we appreciate your time very much, were there Kings players you saw growing up that did you have a favorite? Anybody that you patterned your game after in any way?
I love watching Jason Williams.
Yes.
He was just just the pizzazz he brought to the game. I love watching him, and just that team with Mike Bibby, Chris Webber, Vlade, Peja, Doug Christie, Bobby Jackson. I was pretty young, but I just remember it being an exciting time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And it's another exciting time, isn't it?
Definitely. Definitely.
Right. Jordan Ford, we appreciate your time. Best of luck this year.
Cool. Thank you. Guys. Appreciate it.
We're going to take a quick time out here. It's Whitey and Watkins coming to you from Kings Media Day, Golden One Practice Center on Sactown Sports.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Individual rates, coverage, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. Hey, small business owner, when's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But some don't check their rate often. Did you know rates can vary? In fact, taking 3 minutes to check your rate with Pi Insurance could save you up to 30%. Just go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for you with no hassle or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could save you money. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out. Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Having fun, making friends, and learning a lot here at Kings Media Day,
feel like I
Golden
can
One
breathe.
Center practice facility. I don't know that there were any major headlines made at Kings Media Day today so far, like we saw in Miami with Jimmy Butler with his emo hair.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Don't
or
get me started.
James Harden in Philadelphia not showing up.
Not showing up at all.
But there was something that's pretty interesting that Alex Lynn told us that you caught.
I think the most interesting or the biggest news that I would say I've heard today from everybody that's came through is Alex Len kind of, I don't know if he let the cat out the bag, but saying that the Kings might run some 2 center sets next year. Said, in response to, hey, how are you going to fix that whole rebounding thing that kind of plagued you guys in the playoffs? Well, how about 2 big guys to try and supplement that? So that was definitely very, very interesting, and I'd be very intrigued to see how this team looks next year or this upcoming season. I keep saying next year.
I know,
like
it's hard to believe it's here.
We are physically here. I'm excited to see what that might look like and how differently this team could maybe look offensively if that's going to be the case, because a big reason why you would say last year you shouldn't run out 2 bigs is it kind of clogs things up. Domas isn't really a stretch, and so it'll be interesting to see how they are going to find that balance, because I definitely could see how putting 2 7-footers out there might help with the rebounding problem.
Yeah, you couldn't do it against every team, obviously, but that is a very interesting
Teams
potential.
like Minnesota,
wrinkle.
when you're going against the Gobert and Towns or something like that, you want to be, you want to bring the proper artillery, and I think that's it's not a bad decision. I think we're just going to have to see exactly how it looks in front of us.
One of the things that really stood out to me talking to Monty McNair and Duarte and Ford and Sabonis and Keegan and Malik Monk, there's a lot of confidence too, but there's also just a lot of positivity coming off this team.
Absolutely.
They're actually, this is kind of a chore for them, and they're having fun today.
Everybody's
they're
having
glad
fun.
that this is starting again.
Even off air, we're like, hey, like, how's it going? Like, I know, like you're saying, sometimes these things can be a drag. Oh, they're being forced to come over to station, but everyone's been really positive. That Malik was his personality jumps off the page. Everyone seems so excited to be here, and that's probably headline number 2 is that Malik Monk claims that he can bring Taylor Swift to Golden.
He didn't hesitate. Oh, probably.
No, he did not.
It was funny because when I asked him at first, I was going to ask somebody which your teammates, and I realized with him I had to include him.
He knows that he's the prime candidate for that, and it might not be he did show Travis Kelce the respect. He was like, if she's done with Travis, maybe that's when I'll pursue. But if anyone's going to bring someone of Taylor's caliber to Sacramento, I would guess Malik would be my first pick in the draft.
Yeah, interesting hearing Domas talk about the struggles last year, whether he's going to play or not.
Yep.
And then the doctors didn't want to play, and he wanted to play. Didn't give much
Sounds
any
like
thought
him.
to not playing.
Yeah, it really sounds like him. He was like, it sounds like players in general too. Players are always going to have disagreements with their training staff, and that sounds like no different to me. It's just Domas wanting to get out there, and he's got a good point. It's like, if I'm going to play in the second game of the back-to-back, why can't I just go in the first game? Really didn't make sense to me, but just glad to see him having 2 hands now, and it should be exciting what he can do now that he's got his right hand available.
It's also interesting to hear him talk about what they're going to do against him defensively and how he's going to adjust to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting because I'm sure everybody saw that how the Warriors guarded him in that playoff series, and he understands that not every team is going to have the personnel to be able to deal with him the same way that Golden State did, but he's he's working on his game, and I think he is more aware than anybody of what he needs to work on to make sure that what happened last year doesn't happen again.
You just never know who you're going to run into out here.
No,
Although
I
it's
mean,
no
that's the
surprise
glory.
that we run into, of course, our partner,
TV's own,
and the voice,
Yes,
TV
sir.
voice of the Kings, Kyle Draper.
Hey, I'm here and I'm looking at my boy Chris Watkins. He got the fresh cut.
I do.
for media
know.
day.
Had
I
to
was
come
like,
home,
who is this guy over here?
Had to
You
join
know,
the Balding
you guys
crew,
got
you
the
know.
prime location here too.
Yeah.
This is good.
Can't lie. This is a good
It's
spot.
like the Godfather seat. You can see everything. You can sit back and see the whole room.
Exactly.
No, it's awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Would you agree, Kyle? One of the things we're just talking about, we talked to Domas, we talked to Duarte, and we talked to Malik, we talked to Keegan, and we talked to Monty, and I think I missed a player too.
Mr. Vezenkov.
But Sasha, there's a lot of confidence, obviously, but just a ton of positivity coming off these guys. When for a lot of guys in the NBA, today's kind of a chore, and they're actually having a good time.
Yeah, you guys have been around and you've been at these media days before. Every player is walking by with a smile.
Yes,
you know, and that's something
crazy.
that I'm not used to.
Yeah.
You know, obviously last season was perfect for them. So much excitement. But what I notice is guys like each other too.
Mhm.
Like they're joking around with each other. They're having fun. It's just a different vibe than, you know, the previous years I've been here. And I'm excited, man. You know, Malik Monk, he's still the same dude,
Same
you
guy.
know, same guy, you know, razzing on people and everything. But no, it's been great so far.
Yeah, no, I mean, you really pointed out there. That to me is the biggest thing. Is I mean, look no further than across and around all around the league. There's drama and tons of different media days right now. People not showing up. You know, whatever Jimmy Butler decided to do today. Like there's so much drama that happens around the NBA, and it just feels like, especially an organization like the Kings, which is almost just goes hand in hand with drama. There's no drama heading into this media day and into training camp. It just feels like everyone understands it's full steam ahead to what the same goal is.
Yeah, think about it. When's the last time we can honestly say that there's no drama surrounding who might be the GM or the head coach or who trades or something
exactly.
like that? And you know, that stability, I think, is something that Monty McNair, you know, wanted this offseason. It's like, you don't need to go out there and make the big splash. You know, this team needed more stability, more continuity, and it's been great. And you look around the league, like you said, you know, you got players not showing up to camp. You got guys getting traded the day before media day and everything. And the fact we got NBA TV here in the building too. It's like Sirius XM. Like the Kings are here. We have arrived. So yeah.
Kyle Draper with us here. I was wondering, and I saw you tweeted about this right after it happened yesterday. Speaking of trades, as you just were, what do you make of the big Drew Holiday to Boston trade? Because I think he's perfect for them. I know they gave up a little something to get him, but I think Drew Holiday is perfect for the Celtics.
Well, one of their big questions was perimeter defense. Like, you lose Marcus Smart. He was the heart and soul, your best on-ball defender. Now you got to expect Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum to step up. But then you bring in a guy like Drew Holiday, and I forgot who I was talking to about Drew Holiday earlier. They said he's Marcus Smart, but less volatile. Like, he won't shoot you out of a game. You know, as great as Marcus Smart was, he had some questionable decision-making towards the end of games. Drew Holiday is that, you know, savvy vet that can run a team, hit big shots as well, and play great defense. It's the perfect, like, the rich get richer. Like, how did, you know, Milwaukee, you know, I understand going after Dame, but if they would have known that then Drew would turn around and go to Boston, their biggest rival, like, what are they doing? Yeah. You know, it's just the Celtics, you know, I saw the line too. The Celtics and Bucks are now co-favorites, right?
Really?
You know, 2 days ago, the Bucks were the favorites in the East. Now they're co-favorites after this latest trade.
So you just feel like, I mean, and I'm pretty sure I agree with you, but you feel like after everything, I saw a list of exactly what Boston has lost this offseason to, you know, essentially getting back Holiday and Porzingis. You feel like Boston is made out on the better end of things.
Yeah, you know.
Because it's I mean, you know, with losing Marcus Smart, there's a lot that comes with that.
They are not a deep team,
right?
Though. That's
Robert
their
Williams
problem.
as well.
Their depth, especially at the big man position, I think might come back to bite them. But what you're seeing from the Celtics over the last couple of years is a transition from, you know, they were a top defense 2 years ago, I think, like number one. You know, now they realize, you know what, we got to score as well. You bring in a Porzingis. I just worry about their interior defense now. You know, if Jaylen Brown gets beat or Tatum gets beat on the outside, you really don't have any rim protection.
Right.
And you don't have any depth. Like, you know, you may have a great starting five. Who's your sixth man? Al Horford? Peyton Pritchard. I mean, great guys, good players, but that doesn't scare me. And so I think they have some flaws to their roster too.
Yeah, Kyle Draper, nice enough to join us here. We know you're busy, but we appreciate your stopping by. Speaking of bigs, we had Alex Lynn tell us today, I don't know if he let this slip, but he said, Mike Brown says maybe me and Domas play at the same time a little bit this year. So how about that?
See, you know what? And I'm going to say, Whitey, and I'll say it to you too, Chris. I thought there's no way Domas can play the 4. I said on this team, in this league, he has to be the 5. But you bring in JaVale McGee. You bring back Alex Lynn. Like, you get beat up the way you did against the Warriors with Looney. And so you may have to play Domas at 4 some just so he doesn't have to deal with 5s all the time. And so I don't see it. Like, I think – you need a shooting big to go along with Domas. That'll be one of the things I'm paying attention to this upcoming season early on. It's like, how does Domas fit? Because you bring in Domas and Alex Lynn. Where's De'Aaron Fox going to operate? How's he going to get downhill? The spacing just won't be there as much. And so I'm a little skeptical about that.
Gotcha.
What have you been doing over there?
Man, I've been chopping it up, chilling. I ain't been doing a darn thing. No. I interviewed a few players. I'm waiting to interview Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah, he's making his rounds.
Yeah, do some promo shoots, man. Just talk to the guys. Get ready for it. Yep.
Yeah. What do you think of Jimmy Butler's new hairstyle?
I love it. Jimmy always trolling. Remember last year when he
showed
made
the extended locks?
It's like, and so on media day, you got to take a picture of it. And on all the national broadcasts and all the media guides they put out, that's how Jimmy's going to look. I love it.
It tripped me out because I thought it was a wig at first. And then I saw him walk up to the podium, and that thing is attached to his hair. He just straightened his hair.
He had to work at that, too. You don't just roll out of bed and look like that. You got to put some hours straightening that.
Yeah, the weird thing was then when Carmichael Dave showed up with the same
that was really
thing, it's like, wow.
And then I said, is this the Jimmy Butler thing? And he said, who? He said, what now?
And I was like, okay. Kyle, we'll let you go. Thank you very much.
All right, boys. Thanks for having me, man.
See you guys soon. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back from Kings Media Day at the practice facility at the Golden One, Sactown Sports.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Quick Quack Car Wash.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Monday forecast includes mostly sunny skies. We'll have light winds out of the northwest and temperatures today topping out upper 70s to about 80 degrees. You can get the latest forecasts on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
There's just something about fall that makes me want to enjoy every moment. The changing leaves, the pumpkin patches, and you know what else won't last? Quick Quack's new pumpkin spice scented car wash. Text SPICE to 41284 to get 50% off any wash.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is an entertainment experience like no other. We're the only place where you can play blackjack, then hop on an indoor car track. We're the only place with more than 2,000 of the hottest slots and a state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and a resort hotel to stay after you play. Is it any wonder we've been voted best over 100 times? We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in the zone.
So what if I need a new one? No problem. We have the right battery for your car, starting at only $89.99.
Get in the zone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Look out, world, we're getting strong. The future's here and we belong. She can STEM, she can do more. Like build a rocket and watch it soar. Clean the oceans and make the world a better place. Oh, she can STEM, so can you. Find a cure, invent something new. There's no challenge in the world that she can't face. She can STEM.
Learn more at She Can STEM. A message brought to you by the Ad Council. It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own one report.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Oh, Barnacles. I say that because we currently don't have a Sacramento King sitting in front of us, and we have been spoiled today by just a seemingly endless run of Kings players, general managers coming to talk to us.
Everybody. And who we haven't gotten, Jason Ross and Carmichael Dave have gotten the rest. So
yeah, and I don't care for the way they went about that either.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah,
it was unnecessary, and it was not appreciated.
It was not cool. It was very uncool. It felt like they were getting preferential treatment.
Yes.
But it's fine. I'm totally okay with everyone we got.
Yes, but I don't mean to complain because we're still working on a guest or two. So thanks for being with us today.
Yes.
Here on Media Day. How many Media Days is this for you?
This is, I think, number 4 for me, either 4 or 5 for me. So this is it's starting to feel familiar. I'm starting to get a good grasp of what to expect on these days, though. Every single year there's just something that's a little bit different, whether it be the energy or just, you can feel a level of expectation coming in here, but I was expecting this to really have like a very like a tangibly excited feel, but instead, it feels really calm. It feels really relaxed.
Like we got work
here.
to do. We're just getting started here.
Yeah,
Let's not get carried away.
It's not really like, I'm not saying these guys aren't obviously excited for the season to start, but it's more of just like we know what we have to do. We got to take care of business this year, and we know what that looks like, and it's really just taking care of work, and the rest will take care of itself.
If I may share with you a couple of my memories from Media Day way back.
Please.
I remember one time, I may have told you this already, in the old practice facility.
Yeah.
At Arco, it was Eric Musselman's first year as a head coach, and they hadn't practiced yet. They hadn't done anything, and he had charts on the wall all the way around, and it was like deflection percentage should be this. So it's kind of analytic stuff.
Sure.
And I remember there was a player. I don't think he made the team, but he ended up playing in the NBA. Louis Amundsen.
Oh yeah.
And Louis Amundsen is standing there, and he's just looking at one of them. And I introduced myself. I go, hey. He goes, hey, how are you? And I said, what do you know what that means? And he says, I don't have any idea. And I said, well, good luck. And he said, yeah, you too.
He's like, I guess that's what I guess we're going to learn during training camp. And I mean, it's that's kind of a little bit, it doesn't seem like that's the case with a lot of these Kings. We've talked to them about the level of continuity that there is. It's not a lot of new stuff that's going to happen, but that's another good thing, though. I think that it's good that it seems like a lot of players this year know what to expect. And, even, we asked Chris Duarte, what have you heard about Mike Brown? Everything he said sounds about right. It sounds like everyone kind of knows what to be expecting from the coaching staff, from the front office, and frankly from each other as well. It doesn't sound like we're going to have any Lou Amundsen situations this year.
Yeah.
There's a couple charts that I was looking at that I was confused by.
And by the way, he had a nice career.
He did.
And Coach Musselman, of course, has had a great career.
He's turned things around for sure.
I also remember one media day, and I was talking to Jerry, who at the time was an analyst, Jerry
that
Reynolds.
guy, right.
Yeah, and Coach T as well. And I remember I was reading about this new offense in college basketball called the dribble drive motion, where everything was 3 or in the key.
Right.
You don't set screens. It's like spacing. I remember talking to them about this. Would it ever work in the NBA? Because in my mind, it's like the three-point shot's too long.
Right.
But both of them, I remember them saying, yeah, I think it could. And I was like, pfft. And here we are.
These guys know.
Everybody runs it now.
Everybody. I mean, every single person. And that's really the thing that stuck out to me most about this team is just the amount of shooting is just endless. I mean, every single player, with the exception of really the two heads of the snake are really proficient shooters. And that's the thing that really sticks out to me about this team. They're still trying to figure out the defensive end, but really the offense is just so electric and so explosive. And there's really no reason to think that that's going to change anytime soon. If anything, I would really argue that with the addition of Sasha and Chris Duarte, maybe it's just because I'm here, I'm feeling the energy, but I really think those guys are going to make a really big impact on this offense this year.
It was striking how every player we asked if there's an area where you need to improve or an area where you're going to improve is like didn't miss a beat, right?
Yeah,
defense. Everybody the same.
Malik,
Defense.
I don't even think Malik let you finish. He said, no, defense. I know what you're asking, defense. And I think that's, you've also been asking people, does it just another year in Mike Brown's system? Is that going to help you on the defensive end? I think there's going to be so many things that work in their favor this year, whether it be, they didn't make any wholesale changes personnel-wise and bring in some long, lengthy defenders. They're banking a lot on internal growth, and I think a big part of that will be another year of familiarity with what Mike Brown's trying to do. But also some of the guys on the fringes, like, is Kessler Edwards going to be somebody who earns minutes at the start of the year? Alex Len, is he going to play? Are we going to see some early Alex Len minutes this season? I think that there's a reasonable path that this team could really improve on the defensive end.
Well, this is a distinct pleasure. Nice enough to join us. Hello, sir. Kevin.
How's it going?
The
Chris.
voice of the Sacramento Kings, Mark Jones with us. How are you, sir?
Outstanding. Exciting day here, man. Great to see a lot of the guys and get reconnected after the summer. Some of them, I saw during the summertime, Alex Len works out down in Miami all the time and spent a bunch of time with him in the gym watching him work out. And Kevin Huerter has been through Miami, and Davion Mitchell came through for his birthday. So I try and connect with the guys outside of Sacramento when you get a chance to. But seeing everybody in one place at the same time, man, I'm ready to go.
I got to tell
Let's
you.
Let's skip training camp.
Yeah, please.
You wouldn't remember this, but you told me one of the greatest basketball stories. We were doing an interview years ago, and you were telling me about the NBA Celebrity All-Star Game.
Oh.
And about how your wife watched, and she knew that the Property Brothers had switched jerseys.
Wow.
And you told me that, and I always tell people that story. They go, no. It's like, yeah. And I remember you tell me that story.
Yeah, I wasn't quite up on the show. She was.
Yeah.
So she shot me a text like, yo, that you got to watch out for the change. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. The fact that I actually, study and prep for a Celebrity All-Star Game.
Of course
you do. Saying, right?
Of course you
gotta
get ready. You gotta know what you're walking into. I mean, you're all around. You do, college football. You do tons of NBA stuff. Do you feel like around the country, people are really starting to take notice of this team? It obviously started last year, but just everything that's gone on with this team, do you feel a different way that people are kind of talking about the
Definitely, and I accumulated some forgiveness coupons across the country for coming late to the party, getting behind the red velvet rope finally. But, and that's going to be the interesting thing is this year it's not going to surprise anyone, right? And teams are going to give Sacramento their best because this is the number 3 seed in the very tough Western Conference. So it's going to look a little bit different, feel a little different at times. But, nationally, a lot of my colleagues at ESPN look at Sacramento much differently than they did 12 months ago this time. When you look at De'Aaron, Domas, and the parts around those guys and, the tinkering that Monty McNair has done around the core of this team really puts them in a good place, I think, anyway.
Mark Jones, the great Mark Jones, nice enough to join us. When you look at all the volatility in the conference, look at Phoenix, a lot of player movement. The Warriors got Chris Paul, and the Kings made some additions. But do you think that that consistency year to year, could that be actually an advantage in the West this year?
I think it is. I think, people would say there wasn't the splash free agent acquisition by Sacramento. I think that's a blessing. I think that's a good thing because You don't have to put your chemistry at risk. And this team
You
has
have
established
continuity.
great continuities, chemistry, culture, right? That Mike Brown built from day one through the regular season, through the playoffs, and you take that momentum into next year. I think when you get better depth, Sasha Vezenkov is going to be a huge addition this year to the team with his shooting, his skill, his length. If you look at our bench right now in Sacramento, the one thing that really, I think, hurt us last year at times, and Mike Brown will admit this, is that positionally we were a small team on our wings, especially. Now we have length coming off the bench in Vezenkov, JaVale McGee with rim protection. I think if this team can get to 18 or higher in defensive rating with the best offense last year, things are looking great ahead.
You mentioned, I mean, not really a big splash, but you also mentioned Sasha. And again, you're
Right.
a guy who's got tentacles all over the place, hearing
Right.
things from everywhere. What have you heard about his game, and what do you hope to see him bring to this team this year?
A very high IQ player. His style, playing with Panathinaikos, Olympiakos, pardon me, in Greece, it's a ball movement, player movement type of system. EuroLeague champion, MVP. In speaking to him, he said the biggest thing that he was debating about coming over to play with Sacramento was the style of play that they play. He watched a lot of games and saw that it was a very fluid European type style of basketball. And I think he's going to fit, because I spoke with Mike Batiste, who's known Sasha since he was a teenager coming up in the EuroLeague and playing professionally in Europe. Mike is an assistant coach with the Raptors right now. He played professionally in Greece. He's known Sasha forever. He thinks it's a perfect fit for the Sacramento Kings in terms of he gets rid of the ball quickly on his threes, moves well, understands how to cut without the basketball, how to move without the basketball, and that is Sacramento's offense to a T.
Yeah, Mark, I think it's one of the key points you made is the fact that they have so much more depth. It seems to me if they wanted to, they could actually play a second unit. I don't know if the coach will want to do that. Coaches don't always do that, but you have enough depth to do that. In addition, while their offseason didn't wow a lot of people, it's possible that one of the very last moves they made, bringing in JaVale McGee, could end up being one of the most significant.
I think so too, and that's a great point because, one of the, I think, detriments to the offense last year for us was when Domas comes out of the game, we weren't able to play off the elbows as much as we usually do because Sabonis is such an impeccable passer, right? 6-7 assists a game. Run a lot of split cuts off the elbows. Well, spoke to JaVale, and I asked him what the attractiveness of signing with Sacramento was. He had several other offers from very good teams, competitive teams. But he said he was looking forward to being involved in the offense, playing off the elbow like they do here in Sacramento. And he made it akin to the way that he played in Phoenix, where he'd get touches on offense and hit cutters, hit guys coming off of screens, as opposed to the way he was used in Dallas last year, where he would just basically sit in the dunker spot in the baseline on the block and really not get a lot of touches because, Luka and Kyrie, they're ball dominant guards. So, and then at the defensive end, I think he's going to be a great addition too. That takes a little bit of the rim pressure off some of the bigs.
And just knowing coach's defensive system as
well.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the guy's got a championship ring. That counts for something,
Multiple.
right? Yeah.
Multiple.
Yeah.
How excited are you for Keegan Murray? And just, after the California Classic he had, people have been talking about it ever since. And how do you feel like, if he really does make a leap this year, what does that do for this team and realistically where their expectations can be for this year?
Yeah, Keegan has been he had a great summer.
Yeah.
He played with USA Basketball. I spoke with Jamal Mosley, the coach of the select team. He said Keegan was one of the best players that they had there. So being around those guys, he said that Keegan told me being around Cade Cunningham and other players like that really helped him this summer to get good run in. 2, he's put on about 10 pounds, he told me. So he's a lot stronger. If you look at him through the chest, that will help with his finishing. And 3, that was the third part of the game that he's added to his bag is his drive game. Worked on finishes, left-hand, right-hand floaters this year. If he can diversify that part of his game a little bit more, develop it a little bit more, then he's going to need it. this year because he's not going to surprise anybody on the scouting report.
Right.
You know, everybody knows that he can shoot, 40% on 3-pointers, but to be able to add that to his game and his handle, I think it just makes the entire team better.
It was funny. And I know you talk to him all the time, but we were talking to Keegan about the year he had, and he said, I didn't expect to set a record for a 3-point shooting. It's like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you something that we asked Monty earlier today. And we know what Kings fans, and you know what Kings fans appreciate about you. And you do a great job, professional. You love the team. What would you say you appreciate the most about Kings fans?
They show love everywhere. We were at a game last year in San Antonio, who, is a team that got dragged a lot last year. And you don't expect to see Kings fans in San Antonio. And,
Right.
I saw at the end of the game, they're chanting "Like the Beam" in Cleveland. Same thing. I turned around during a commercial at the end of the game, and they're chanting "Like the Beam." And just how widespread, they're homogeneous, they're ubiquitous, they're everywhere, man. I mean, from Miami up to Portland, I remember seeing Kings fans on the road. They're going to show up at home. They always show up and show out at home. But
why do you think that is?
The intimate relationship between the team and the players in the community. It's, people kind of decry being small market sometimes, but, my wife and I are in Midtown here in Sacramento. I see Alex Len walking to Starbucks sometimes in the morning in Midtown.
It's
around
very
the
genuine,
Capitol.
isn't it?
Yeah, there's a connection. And I don't think you find that everywhere in the NBA. And I think that's part of what makes Sacramento's relationship, the players with their fans, so unique. And even us as broadcasters, when I'm at Temple Coffee or at breakfast spots or, at McCooney having sushi, I'm always getting into, 20-minute, 30-minute conversations with Kings fans instead of sipping on my vodka. I see, you know what I mean? But it's fun. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's
I love it. I love the
insightful.
relationship.
Yeah.
I've been to many other NBA cities and, was a resident, still kind of co-resident in Miami for 30 years. And there's not quite the same level of intimacy that you see between the fans and the players.
I mean, you're obviously super connected in the league. What are you most excited for with this NBA season kicking off? I mean, all the trade craziness that happened last week. I mean, but you mentioned San Antonio, the Wembanyama debut, and just that entire experience. What?
Not to mention the in-season tournament.
Tournament.
That's number one on my list. I think the in-season tournament is a great thing because that's going to give us a chance to incentivize the part of the season that some of the casuals might not pay attention to from the mid of October until Christmas time. For a lot of people, they don't take notice until after Christmas. Right. Well, the in-season tournament is going to juice that first part of the season. And I'm excited to see, a team like OKC in the West or a team in the East like, Cleveland or Detroit that might not command the spotlight. Hey, they could end up playing in Vegas in this in-season tournament, semis, and then championship. And, hey, listen, I'm going to be the first to say I want to see the Kings in the finals too, right? But just the parity that it might cause and the extra motivation that it might kind of cause around the league. And then, seeing some of the young guys, saw Wemby. I called his first game at Summer League, and he just looks so unique and different the way he does everything. And Scoot Henderson was a guy that I'm looking forward to watching, and Chet Holmgren coming back. And
the NBA's in a pretty good place.
It is fantastic. This league is so alive and in a fantastic spot, and it's going to be a good season. And to think that you had a play-in team last year like Miami make it to the finals, that means all bets are off when we start the season, right?
Yeah. Mark, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it. We enjoy your work very, very much.
Yes, you guys keep up the great work yourself. You guys do a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will talk to you soon.
You got it.
And we will be back with more from Media Day at the Golden One Center practice facility next on Sactown Sports.
Has Monty put together a roster that can help make a deep playoff run this season?
Just trying to give coach options, give him guys that can help us win in a variety of areas. Obviously, our top guys are going to play every game, but there's going to be other times, whether it's injuries, matchups, we've got to have some variety on the bench for coach to point to and say, go in there and help us win.
Tune into every Kings game this season
on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
When
When your people are ready, your business is ready. Cintas makes sure they have what they need to perform their best. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, fire protection systems that are tested and inspected, first aid and safety supplies, floor mats, or cleaning tools and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together, so visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. If you're a small business owner, listen up. Pi Insurance wants to give you one of those aha moments, the kind that could save you money. Workers' comp is probably one of the biggest costs you face. But did you know that insurance providers have flexibility in setting their prices? That's right. But many don't bother giving small businesses the savings you deserve. Instead, you can get lumped in with other businesses and overcharged. Pi Insurance was created to change that. With Pi, you get a quote tailored specifically to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. Take 3 minutes to see how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or go to trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Thanks for being with us today, Kings Media Day. I also want to thank real quickly Kyle Ledbetter.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank Chris Furlod.
The best producer there is.
Jay Johnson did a good job for us. In his brief appearance. And now, we've had a lot of big names join us, and we don't have any more. So, joining... Wow. That's not to join us. Wow. All right. That didn't come out right.
Wow.
Frankie Cartoscelli, our Kings Insider.
Hey.
Frankie.
I was just kind of defending myself. I will say that Frankie has a big appetite. No, okay. First and foremost, there's a box of pizzas I'm sitting here for hours, and I said no. Hours? Yeah, since I got here. And I said no the first couple of times, and you know what? I didn't get to have lunch today. No one had lunch.
No one did.
Yeah, I had we 2 have yet slices. to get lunch. And you know what? There's one slice left. Jason Anderson, our pal who comes on from the Sacramento Bee.
I thought I was Frankie's
There's one slice left. I'm like, you can have it. So I'm sorry I took 2 slices.
We gave it to Anderson.
We gave it to the Bee.
Wow.
How did
the Andersons get a slice to the pizza? Come on.
I will make it up for you. It sounds like we might be hanging out after this, so I'll make it up to you. I'm sorry for taking the last slice.
No, it's okay. What do you make of Media Day 2023?
I make it that there's a lot of exciting storylines here. I'm taking from it that a lot of guys were like, we're kind of joking, like there's like a saying like silly, goofy mood. A lot of these guys were in like a really fun mood today.
Yes.
And it was very like there's a clip of Malik Monk I posted that is just very it's shocking but hilarious. And I don't know if I can say it on the air. I won't. He just said he has a puppy and that it's maturing. And it's a female puppy that's maturing. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, a lot of funny things going on over here. Obviously, some guys.
Yeah, that's the first thing Frankie goes to.
Yeah. Well, that's just what we were talking about. It was just such a funny, stunning thing, and he was very loose. And Davion Mitchell, another guy who's been very soft-spoken and quiet.
Seems to be a little more opening up this year. I saw him talking with Dave and Jason, and he seems a little bit more energetic this year.
Yeah, very, very confident, I think, is like the word I'm kind of sensing, confident, and had some good points about how JaVale McGee, his presence, who also JaVale McGee had a great segment over there. I'm sure he came on with you guys or Dave and Jason. Had a good soundbite. But Davion had a good point saying that JaVale McGee's presence will be great because the same way that Fox and Mitchell push each other, JaVale McGee is going to be that presence. It's going to push him in practice because we all know that Sabonis in the playoffs last year, there was, quite a storyline with the Kevon Looney situation. So a lot of good vibes here. I think it's just a very fun day, and it's kind of like the tip-off for not just the Kings, but for us too. We're all going to kind of have our own seasons beginning here.
Let's see how well you know your Kings, Frankie.
Okay.
I asked a member of the Kings which player on this team has the best chance of getting Taylor Swift to come to a Kings game. The player said, me. A second player said, yeah, it's him. Who is the player?
Is it someone I would expect or not really?
I probably.
I would expect?
Yes.
Kevin Huerter.
That's incorrect.
Wow.
Okay, my other guess would be HB.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow, I guess I don't know them.
You already talked about him. Malik Monk.
Malik Monk.
Malik Monk.
Malik Monk said, oh, that's me. And
That's
then
him.
Keegan said, it would be Malik.
I just didn't see that coming. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't know. How much have you guys talked about the Taylor Swift situation over the last 2 weeks?
Probably more than what people would like.
Yeah.
Okay.
More than we would have liked.
Yeah, probably more than we would.
I bet a lot likes it. But you sound like a Taylor Swift guy.
Big Swiftie.
Are you a big Swiftie?
Where are you getting that from?
I just sense it.
I'm punk rock. I don't listen to Taylor Swift.
My girlfriend loves punk rock, but she loves Taylor Swift
That's
too.
A lot of Kid Rock.
That's on me. I didn't mean to send us scurrying back down the rabbit hole, but I was just wondering if you'd be able to.
No, I'm sorry. I
solve
bombed that one.
That's okay. It just another interesting thing. Pardon me as I stutter here. The fact that we talked to all these players and they all had the same kind of demeanor and positivity, and Vezenkov seemed just like all of them.
Yeah.
He seemed like a king already in terms of his attitude and demeanor.
Yeah, fits right in, obviously. I mean, it's a guy that is not really a rookie. That's one of the things I was talking about with some of the guys, too, is the fact that he's not a rookie. He's someone that's an EuroLeague MVP. He's 27 years old. I think 28 actually now. But a lot of good words coming from him and a lot of hype from his teammates. De'Aaron Fox saying he thinks he's one of the best shooters on the planet right now. There was a shooting drill they went through a couple of days ago where he said Vezenkov went 143 for 150 from three. So this guy, it's kind of like the Peja stories you hear. I think Jerry Reynolds has a story about Peja where he made, I think it was a 40 or 50 in a row without missing. He was watching from one of the offices at the old place.
That might have been Ben McLemore. No,
was it?
Sorry.
Don't get Chris and I started on Ben McLemore.
That's my mistake. It wasn't Ben McLemore.
No, it was Nick Stauskas in the rain. That's what it was.
That was in his driveway too, wasn't it? Yeah, but no, this is probably different. This guy's proven EuroLeague MVP, but no, a lot of guys are feeling very confident that shot's going to translate, and with the quick release, that's one of the biggest carryovers from I think other leagues when you come into the NBA.
His rebounding is going to be important too, I think.
Yeah, and I can't remember who said it, but someone, I think it was Keegan, pointed out that he thinks his defense was better than advertised too. He said that during their scrimmages or during their pickup games, Sasha's been holding his own on the defensive end. So very excited to see him play on Sunday. We met him a couple days ago.
You guys have talked with Coach Brown, right?
Yeah.
Does it seem like he has a different energy going into this year? I mean, last year is where we got the Mike Brown scream from, and it felt like he was kind of, he was energetic last year. I think just trying to set the tone before the training camp starts. Did you feel like, I don't know, I guess Mike Brown has never really chill, but did you feel like he was a little more relaxed, or did he still kind of bring that energy that we saw last year?
The energy was there. It wasn't the screaming let's go. It wasn't that. And I think we kind of were maybe expecting that.
I was hoping for something this year.
Yeah, no, it's business as usual. I mean, well, for him, I guess now it is, but it's a theme from the guys, and Brown started off was that I think a lot of the players are knowing that this is going to be a different kind of situation this year. This isn't like the Kings, teams are going to be sitting guys when they come to Sacramento. They're expecting, an easy or simple matchup. That's not the case anymore. I think people are going to be circling the Kings on the calendar, not for a rest situation, but for a kind of, we got to get up and play these guys because they're a tough team to beat. And that's a night and day difference from last year. Last year, I think we were kind of just hoping to see a competitive Kings team. I think Kings fans have really hoped for the past 15, 16 years is to see a team that can be competitive and hold its own and just not get blown out every night. Last year, they're the third best team in the West. So that's going to, garner a different response for some teams. So multiple guys were saying that, and JaVale McGee was also a very outspoken person on this too, that this is not going to be, a cakewalk anymore. I mean, this is going to be a tough situation for not just the Kings, but other teams too. It's going to be a dogfight every night. So different situation. That's exciting though. It's exciting.
Yeah. Sactownsports.com, Kings Insider, Frankie Cartoscelli. Thank you for stopping by. We appreciate it very much, Frankie.
I apologize for the pizza situation.
Not accepted.
I'm sorry.
Not accepted.
I'm sorry. Thank you for having me on, and I'm excited, guys. Let's get to the season.
Back with more from Media Day right after this. It's Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Gold Country Casino Resorts in Oroville is thrilled to present American Idol winner Chase Beckham, Saturday, November 18th.
Now I'm 23.
Don't miss out on your chance to see this talented country artist live.
If you don't take in the backwards fireflies.
Get your tickets now to see Chase Beckham at goldcountrycasino.com, November 18th at 8 p.m.
Gold Country Casino Resort.
Must be 21 or older.
This is the lunch rush at your local deli. Orders are flying in. Online, on the phone, and in person.
Order for Nick.
So is it possible that fast internet could help your business outrun the rush? It is with Comcast Business. Up-leveling your speed with gig speed Wi-Fi, powering all your devices, in fast downloads and uploads, powered by the next generation 10G network. With Comcast Business, next level speed isn't just possible, it's happening. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get an $800 prepaid card with a qualifying internet bundle. Call or go online to learn more. Ends 11/12/2023. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments. New 50 megabits per second internet and security edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Gig Wi-Fi requires gig internet and compatible router.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Whitey
and Watkins
on Sactown Sports.
Thank you.
We have had a number of prominent Sacramento Kings players, members of the media and the front office walk on by today. Thanks for being with us. Kings Media Day winding down here at the practice facility. And you still got luminaries everywhere you look. There's Deuce Mason.
Wow, I know. Look at this guy in the suit and everything. Thinks he's better than us.
Yeah.
Should we get him to come on?
Sure.
Yeah.
If he'll grace our presence.
Domas is still fulfilling his duties. It really is interesting. Frankie made, believe it or not, a great point, because you have all these players and they're wandering around. And as I said earlier, they're getting pulled in so many different directions. And you got to do this, you got to do that. And I guess all the things that you see on the video screen during the season.
Yeah.
All the things during the season, a lot of that, if not all of it, they record today.
Yes.
So like, get up, make some noise.
Right.
Or,
the can I hear you? Oh, I can't. Or, the light the beam gesture, all that stuff. Or, Christmas questions of what's your favorite holiday and all that stuff. All that is done today. And, it's not, again, they're not digging ditches or anything like that, but it can be exhausting,
But you wouldn't know. I mean, every player that we watch just walking by that we've spoken to, very positive, and very eager to do this.
Very energetic. Yeah. I mean, especially, going on live radio. No one's had any trepidations. Everyone's been great. And
so how about this? You've had Mark Jones. Come on. Sabonis. Yeah. Malik Monk.
Easy.
Yeah. Keegan. And now
look at
Deuce
this.
is gonna big time us.
I know. They're like, that thing. What's the name of that station again? Oh no, thanks. But I know it's very fitting that we can get Monty on, no problem. Folsom Lake Ford, the hometown.
Yeah.
We even got Mr. Vezenkov on.
Right.
No questions asked.
Right.
Easy.
Yeah.
Just takes a seat.
How long's
right
the break?
here.
How long to run? No problem,
No
guys.
problem.
Yeah.
Easy. And
Yeah.
then this guy over here is we
kinda
got to go
busy.
through his people. And,
Yeah, that's
he's got to check
unbelievable.
his calendar. It's
That
just
is-
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well,
You learn a lot about
yeah.
people.
Oh, yeah.
When the chips are down.
You never know. Yeah, you never know until you know. But
Do you think, and we'll see, maybe Deuce will join us, maybe he won't.
He probably
I think we'll be okay if he doesn't.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Hopefully he will. As we talk about the Kings and how their continuity may give them something of an advantage in the West,
Yes.
another team that I'm reminded of when I think about that, frankly, is the Lakers have a little continuity
Oh,
as well.
boy, you just had to say it, didn't you?
Well, isn't it true?
It
Correct me
is.
if I'm wrong.
Absolutely. I mean, they're a team that brought back tons of new people, or I'm sorry, tons of their core that was the difference in last season. They really were a completely different team, night and day from the first half of the season when they had Russell Westbrook. LeBron sets a scoring record. They're in just the worst of turmoil. At the deadline, they almost make a complete 180 shift
because they
and
were
take it all the way through.
genuinely bad team.
Terrible. Yeah, they were really like all-time bad vibes. Like you could not get worse from a locker room perspective than what it felt like on that, or what's been described, the emotions of that LeBron scoring record night. Just so out of whack. And for them to turn it into Rui Hachimura, who was a big role player for them, give Austin Reeves an elevated role. And we've seen, through that playoffs and then all the way through this summer with FIBA, he's just taken another leap. That's really the team that, from a continuity perspective, they go hand in hand with the Kings for sure.
I was skeptical when they got D'Angelo Russell. I thought, good luck with that. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, he's actually playing well for them.
Yeah, I think that's where he wants to be. And I think he understands that, through what happened in Minnesota and what his trade value is, that, he's got to do some image recoup as well. And I think LA is exactly where he wants to be.
By the way, all guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey.
And we appreciate their help. We had a lot of good guests today.
Incredible.
By the way, just real quick, bouncing to football as we talk about
Sure.
guys that, I didn't think he'd be very good. I don't know that I can ever again say that guy is no good, period, after what Zach Wilson did last night.
Oh my goodness. That guy was incredible. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, Whitey, but
last week I was saying, what's wrong with the Jets? They're delusional. The guy's terrible. Why do they keep trying to convince themselves he's any good?
dare I say he outperformed Patrick Mahomes?
Whoa, what?
I mean, Mahomes looked like Josh Allen in week one. Maybe it's something about that. Truly, maybe it is something about that Jets defense, because we've seen two of, if not the two best quarterbacks in this league struggle immense, look like completely different people against that Jets defense. And whether it was, Josh Allen in week one or Mahomes last night throwing 2 or 3 interceptions that just looked incredibly uncharacteristic. It was big for Zach Wilson to have that performance he did, because he realistically gave his team a shot to win that game where they were in an opportunity where they probably didn't realistically expect to be in. And, that's what makes the Chiefs, the fact that even with Zach Wilson's best, still wasn't good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, Patrick Mahomes was able to just barely pull out enough magic to make it work.
I was also guilty of being one of those people who said, after what the Cardinals did to the Cowboys,
right,
49ers Cowboys lost a little luster, but I think that luster's back.
It's still back. Yeah. After them taking care of the Patriots the way they did, that was definitely a statement game for the Cowboys. I'm sure they heard all the doubt from everybody. 38-3, and it was that doesn't sound close, but it wasn't even as close as what that scoreboard said. I mean, they put a huge blemish on the career of Mac Jones. Like, it was that level of performance to where we're coming in today in Boston sports radio. They're having a lot of conversations on whether or not they need to continue with this Mac Jones experience because of how just ridiculously well Cowboys defense played.
They put a blemish, a small one, but a blemish on Bill Belichick's legacy, because that's his worst loss.
Was it really?
Yes,
I mean, that wouldn't surprise
35
me.
points.
They had nothing going for them. And, to your point, it does feel like a little bit, if not fully, if we're being honest, like it might have been a bit of an overreaction to say, that game it's who cares anymore? The Cowboys lost. It doesn't matter. It feels like that matchup's right where it needs to be, and I still think it'll be a statement game nonetheless. Whether the Niners look good or not, I think that it's going to be one of the best games of the season.
Oh yeah, and you can hear it on Sactown Sports. The only guy who could keep Brock Purdy from winning the MVP is Christian McCaffrey.
Oh
Am
my
I right?
gosh, absolutely. I mean, that's to me the biggest thing that stuck out. There were so many
just gave me a look like he didn't really agree with that. I don't.
I wonder. That was like yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching that game on Sunday and had the thought 2 or 3 different times, like, it might be crazy to say, but I think this guy might be the best player in the NFL. Like, it's really hard to say that when you have guys like Patrick Mahomes.
And remember about a year ago when they traded for him, and some people said, "Oh, they gave up way too much to get him."
ESPN gave them a C- for their trade grade for that move.
They didn't even give up a first rounder for him.
I mean, Christian McCaffrey he has just completely changed what that team looks like. It's like they don't even necessarily need to have all of the weapons that they do, because they just rely on him so much, and it's because he's so great. Even with all of the weight that they put on him, he's still able to come through and still even be better. I mean, whether it's running the ball, whether
even the Sun tweeted about him yesterday.
He did. LeBron, he got a LeBron shout out early in the game. The only thing he was missing was a passing touchdown, and I swear that was coming. I was like, they're setting this up. There's no way they're going to give him 4 or 3 rushing touchdowns. They're going to set one up for the pass, but he was just incredible yesterday. And to your point, it does feel like, he's going to get a lot of MVP votes, and it probably will be him and Purdy splitting a bunch, because we'd be doing ourselves a disservice if we didn't also mention the fact that Brock Purdy answered a lot of questions yesterday, I think, just with how accurate he was. When he completed his first, it felt like 15 to...
His first 13, I think.
I mean,
and then he was 20 of 21,
incredible.
and he was mad about the one he missed.
And you know what? One of those was the Deebo Samuel, and I think George Kittle only caught 1 ball, and that to me was the biggest thing. Was he was feeding everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, Ray McLeod got featured in there. I mean, Brandon Ayuk obviously had a huge game as well, but that was Brock Purdy to me showing that, yes, I have all of these weapons, but I don't necessarily need to utilize all of them to show what I've got. And I think truthfully, I do think that yesterday went a really long way in quieting a lot of Brock Purdy haters, as it seems to happen every single week. He just quiets more.
Kyle
and more
Draper
people.
didn't even bring him up today.
I know. I was going to bring him up, but I was like, we've been talking about how good
He's
the
doing
energy.
us a favor by popping on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not. Let's not kill the vibe. But I think even people like Kyle Draper would have to admit that what Brock Purdy's doing, man, on a weekly basis now has just been incredibly impressive. And yes, it's only been a month. It's a very, very long season, but I mean, just for him week to week to look like he's getting more and more comfortable, I think is just a great sign for where this Niner team's going to be by the end of the season.
Did you hear, speaking of Kyle's, did you hear what Kyle Shanahan said about McCaffrey and 5 touchdowns?
No, I did not.
He said, I wish I would have known he had 4. I would have liked to have gotten him 5.
Yeah, he could have.
Yeah.
Instead of that QB sneak with Brock.
Yeah.
Right.
He said, I didn't know. And, you're thinking, well, didn't someone tell him? And he said, people, when they tell me stuff like that on the sidelines, I snap at them because I tell them, he goes, someone comes up and says that during the game. I said, what does it matter? That stuff doesn't matter till after the game. So I guess people were afraid to tell him, hey, coach, he's got 4.
Yeah, I mean,
I said, I snap at people, but I wish I'd known.
I like the self-recognition from Shanahan, but
yes,
that also sounds very Kyle Shanahan. What? Why would you tell me something stupid like that? I'm trying to coach a game here.
What does that have to do with the game? Yeah.
That's very Kyle Shanahan. But, I mean, yeah, I would have liked to see it because I think Jerry Rice is the only other person in Niners history to score 5 touchdowns, I believe I saw. And it felt like one of those nights for Christian McCaffrey.
And they had the ball right there.
They had it right there for him, and he set it up, and they just gave it to Brock. But, nonetheless, it doesn't take away from his performance. It was incredible. I mean, they leaned on him so much, and he almost really single-handedly was what took down that Cardinals offense. He was that Cardinals defense. He was incredible.
Cardinals offense was actually kind of good at times.
Very passable. I mean, very, very passable for an offense. I mean, with Josh Dobbs entering that situation just a week before the season started, didn't really expect much, but him and James Conner really were pushing the ball down the field, and I think they made it a 1-score game at a point in the third quarter, and really turned it into a game that was as they like to say in the witching hour. You couldn't. Somebody's
been watching Red Zone.
Some Red Zone a little bit. And they had them in a situation.
Did you watch the Toy Story?
I did. I did. It was less than spectacular. I liked the idea, but it did not. The execution.
Are you with
was
me
not
that they
quite
need
there.
a He-Man version of it?
Yes, they need one. Cut into Gene Skeletor.
We're going to take a quick
His
time
arm
out.
fell off. I think that's a personal foul.
We'll be right back as we will take you up to Monday Night Football here.
Oh, yeah, that's happening.
Coming to you from Media Day at the Golden One. It's Whitey and Watkins and Gene Skeletor.
Yes.
On Sactown Sports.
Go Kings.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
If that sound gives you nightmares, there's a cheap and easy way to avoid engines not firing. Stable, America's #1 fuel stabilizer, ensures quick and easy starts after storage. Stable's proprietary formula keeps fuel fresh for 2 years, outperforming competitors. Pour Stable in your gas can or directly into the tank of your car, truck, hybrid, boat, ATV, motorcycle, or lawnmower to prevent fuel-related engine problems that cost time and money. When you store, start with Stable.
Check out Whitey and Watkins now on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and watch the show from your desk.
Coming to you from the Golden One, the great Sean Rogers walking by, head of security. I went to junior high with him.
Really?
Heck of a, yeah.
Oh,
You know, he was a
great
football player at
connection to have.
Davis.
Really?
He was drafted.
This guy could shoot?
He's
saying you can shoot.
He was drafted by the 49ers.
I'll believe it when I see it that Whitey can shoot.
His best friend was an off kid, Jerry Rice. They were rookies together. Yeah.
Wow.
Good to see you, Sean. Yeah. Yeah. Vallejo, V-Town. Here at the practice facility, you know, someday, Chris, my dream here is we look at the banners of retired players in the practice facility.
Yeah.
Got Bob Davies, Jack Twyman, Maurice
Great.
Stokes, Oscar Robertson, Nate
The
Archibald,
best.
Sam Lacey, Mitch, Webb, Peja, Vlade. Next year when we come in here, Jerry Lucas will be up there somewhere.
We need to make the campaign happen. Like, we're in the building now. Maybe there's a couple ladders in here. Maybe we can get a Sharpie up there.
Probably not the best way to go about that.
Somebody needs to do something about our guy Jerry Lucas not being forever memorialized as a King legend that he is. It's really.
I'm going to go through the proper channels first.
Okay.
If that doesn't work,
I'm just letting
then
you
I'm not
know.
saying I won't.
If that doesn't work, me and Chris step in.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, this is, you said this, you haven't been to media day in a while. This isn't our first rodeo. We know how things gonna, happen. You try and throw it through the proper channels. It never gets done that way. Okay, you got to take business into your own hands. I'm telling you, get the ladder, get the Sharpie, and let's get
I
our
have
guy
to at
Jerry
least
Lucas
say
up
that
there.
I'm going to go through the proper channels.
Okay, for
Then
sure.
we'll see.
Yeah. Can we cut that and then we'll play it over? So
It does remind you, that this is a franchise that's been around for a long time.
As we
Celebrating
look
their-
at that World Championship of 1951 banner up there,
Mhm,
absolutely.
And I think it was Gary Sharp who pointed this out. And I didn't believe it when he first said it. Kings are celebrating 100 years.
100 years this year.
The NBA hasn't even been around that long, but the franchise has.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
it
it's incredible.
predates the NBA.
Yeah, it's really incredible just to think of. I mean, we really don't think about it because the team has only been here since 1985. We don't really account for the totality of what this franchise means, not just for the NBA, but for basketball. Like, this is truly an iconic organization, whether it be because of success or just because of
Rochester,
longevity.
Cincinnati, and Kansas City.
You cannot tell the story of NBA or of basketball without mentioning this franchise, and I think that's gotten lost over the 16-year playoff drought. That this is an organization or a franchise that is just integral to the story of the NBA, and I'm glad to see that the Kings hopefully will start to make an imprint on that history. I think that's
They've done
really
a
the
good
big
job
thing about
acknowledging
moving
that. It
forward.
would have been easy to say, you know what, that was before Sacramento. We don't include that, but
Absolutely.
it's so historic.
I mean, you can't dismiss a name like Nate Archibald. You can't dismiss a great like Oscar Robertson. I mean, some of the best to ever play this game. Even, guys like Jack Twyman and just tons of legends have come through this organization. And it's about time that the Sacramento Kings assert themselves as one of the premier franchises. And I think that's hopefully what Monty and this organization is trying to build towards.
I'll never forget when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, when they said their farewell to him in his last year, and everywhere he went, they were giving him things and rocking chairs and blah blah blah.
Right.
And when he came to Sacramento, the Kings gave him a scholarship at Sac State in his honor,
wow.
which I remember he said that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I also will never forget, he said, this franchise, it's wandered around, but it really looks like it's found a home here in Sacramento. And that's a guy who, when he came into the league, I think they might have been in Cincinnati. So he's seen some of that movement. So
yeah, I mean, that's really the biggest thing, that it hit home a lot during that playoff series against the Warriors for me. Maybe it was, I had watched a couple Kings documentaries right leading up to it, but just how close this team was from being stripped away from this city and to see the fulfillment of what Vivek's dream was.
Twice, right?
Absolutely.
Two
different times. This team really felt like it was, as Adrian Wojnarowski, I believe, put it, first and goal at the 1 yard line. It felt like these guys were out the door. And, last year's playoffs really just, it drove home for me that these guys are, Vivek said it his first day, and it was corny to me at the time, but this is the city's team, and it's not going anywhere. It is truly here to stay for the next 30 years or even hopefully beyond that. I think that's something that, again, just really, really has hit home from last season's playoffs even to today, is just how incredible it is, how incredible this franchise's story is. And just, I mean, again, it's still being written even today.
Mm-hmm. As you mentioned, the Kings came so close to leaving, and that's why, and we don't need to talk about this much, but that is one reason why I still think there's a chance for the A's to stay. And I know people say no, and I understand why they say that, but until it's a done deal, approved, there's still a chance. So I'm hoping against hope, because I've seen things go the other way.
Crazier situations,
yes.
And we've felt more. It's felt more inevitable here than I think it. But it's still, even as bad as it's gotten over there in Oakland with that situation, it was worse at points with the Sacramento situation, where again, like they were all but moved. Like the offices were packed and ready to go, and even then, the team still, through the craziest of circumstances, was able to prove that they were important to this community. And I still, for all those A's fans out there thinking that it's over and it's just an inevitability at this point, it's not. And you'd be surprised that in what I don't know how long that was ago that the Kings almost moved, but you can look back and say, wow, I just would never believe that we would be here. And there still is some hope for those A's fans.
There still is hope for A's fans. There is not any more hope for you, Chris Watkins, in our upset off.
I was hoping you didn't write these down.
Competition that we had Friday.
Yeah.
It would come down to tonight, because I did pick the Giants to pull off the upset tonight, but it appears, if my math is correct, and there's at least a 50% chance that it is. I think I've already eliminated you, because you picked, and the way the game works here, you have to pick one. You can pick as many as 3 upsets, but you don't have to.
Yep.
And you picked the Houston Texans beat the Steelers.
I felt very proud about that one. As I was watching that one, that was the only one that I remembered picking. I remember feeling really confident about it. And that was it, right? That was the only game that I selected.
No, because you picked 2 other ones. If only.
I don't remember that.
Only.
I don't remember
you
that.
Picked did the Dolphins come through for
Yeah, that was looking back, hindsight being 2020, that wasn't the best prediction there. It just felt easy, Again, a team scores 70 points one week, you don't expect them to give up 50 the following week. So
you also picked the Bears. So
that one I almost nailed that one, and then then the third quarter and the fourth quarter happened.
But you still picked the Bears, no matter how it happened or whatever. You still.
But spiritually, I was up, I think 28 to 10 at one point in that game, and I mean, Justin Fields really, this is how you just know it's not going well for Justin Fields. He has a fantastic day. I think he threw for 4 touchdowns most of his entire career. And he pretty much lost the game for them. Had a really, really ugly strip sack and also threw the last pass of the game right into the Denver DB. So wasn't a great way to end the day for Justin Fields.
I had Atlanta and they lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Loser.
So that cost me. Yeah. But I had the Ravens and they won. So the deal is the way it works, if it comes down to points, I had the Ravens at 3 points because they were 3-point underdogs.
Right.
And you had the Texans, they were 2.5-point underdogs. So even if I lose tonight, I'll still beat you by half a point.
Well,
buddy.
it was a good battle.
But forget about that because look who's joining us now. As he waits, so are they almost done? Are they almost done? Okay, I'll come on. Dave Deuce Mason, hello.
Come on.
Wow.
Thanks. They told me I had to stay right there to do some video stuff. So
You didn't do anything.
I watched you. I had to wait, and I just got out of there. Hi guys.
Likely story.
Hi.
I promise.
What do you make of today, the media day? We've just been noticing there's just a lot of positivity from the players for whom this isn't necessarily the best day of the year.
Yeah, it's like the first day of school, but it does feel a little different because it seems like all the players are pretty fired up. Like, hey, it's a family atmosphere. Listen to JaVale McGee talk. I'm like, he sucked me in. I'm like, okay. I could see like his veteran
and
presence.
you as a post player, you understand.
Right. We understand. It's a big guy to big guy thing.
Sure.
All right. Yeah. No, I mean, I think this team is deep. I think they're going to be fun. And I think they understand like, hey, they're not going to be overlooked anymore.
Yeah. I mean, how does the energy kind of compare to last year? I think there's a lot of similarities, obviously, just in the player personnel and everybody who comes in, but does it feel like, to me, just to throw in my own 2 cents, like it felt like this year is a little bit more of just taking care of it. Last year was a little bit about getting everybody excited for what they felt like was coming. This year, it kind of feels like a little bit more of, okay, we know what's in front of us and we're just here to take care of business.
They know what they're walking into.
Right.
Like tomorrow is not going to be new for most of the team. Right. And I think they're going to tweak some things for sure, as they should, especially offensively. But it just feels like the vibes are great. I think this is a really talented team. I think they're going to be one of the better teams in the West.
Mm-hmm. What do you expect defensively from Mr. Vezenkov? I asked that because you guys had you and Mo did a live pod during his European League Championship game. And I was on there and I was saying, I don't know about him defensively. And you came after me not knowing it was me. So
I would have done the same thing.
What do you expect from him?
I think he's a smart player. And I think part of
Keegan said he's better than advertised defensively.
That, and a couple of guys mentioned that his defense jumped out. So I'm like, okay, like that's good. I don't think it's going to be like a strong suit. And I think he's even acknowledged like that has to be he has to get better. But Whitey played enough basketball. Having smart players matter just as much. You got to have the communication. You got to know where to be. And I think last year some of the breakdowns.
Don't run and foul a 3-point shooter from behind when you're up 5.
I mean, who would do that, right? That would make no sense to do in a game.
Right.
Do you know someone who did that? Yeah, I mean, I think defense is just a question in general for this team, and I think they showed signs in the playoffs last year. On the road, they were 8th in defensive rating, which is weird. I don't know.
I know we talked to a lot of players about that. I'm sure you do, and they're like, they all go, I don't know.
Yeah, and we asked Monty about that, and he said he doesn't put much stock into that. I'm like, I mean, it's 41 games. Yeah. Can't be nothing, but they have to be better. But how much better can they be with this group? Can they get to 15th? I mean, it's not great,
good enough for Denver.
Right. It was good enough for Denver, and I think offensively, I think they have the chance to be better than they were last year.
The big thing for media day, I think, just in general across the league, you mentioned it being first day of school vibes. Like, it's just getting the first look at how these guys physically look after a summer of working out. Has there been anybody who's really stuck out physically to you?
Trey Lyles looks even better than he did last year.
Because last year he kind of lost a lot of weight. It looked really different. And then this year kind of looks like he bulked up off of that.
Keegan, too.
Yeah.
Keegan's noticeable. And I think he's gotten stronger. I think he's worked on all aspects of his game, too. He just looks like everything you hear about him is like they're really excited about what he can be.
And you can tell he's feeling it, too. He feels it.
Yeah.
That. Again, quiet confidence.
I mean, look at me, too. I mean, I've kind of worked on things this offseason as well.
Suits
you didn't notice?
Looking tight, yeah.
All right.
Looking good. Looking like you're trying to look better than everybody. You look great.
I had to today. Yeah. Just today.
Sharp.
Well, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it.
I can come on long.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I literally was told not to move.
I know. I watched you. You didn't do anything.
You were on the stream just standing there. Everybody saw you.
That's okay, but that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, good to see you, Deuce. Thanks for being with us today. Media Day at the Golden One. We take you now to thank you, Chris. Good job. Thank you, Chris Verlade. Thank you, Kyle Ledbetter. Thank you, Deuce Mason, for making an appearance. Monday Night Football. It's the Seahawks and the Giants coming up next right here on Sactown Sports.
His arm fell off. I think that's a personal foul.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and I recognize, just like my friends at American Energy Heat and Air, that your time is important. And that's why shopping for a new air conditioner is now easy.